Hello, hello. Masterboards. Yeah, let me get into my own chat here. What a really hi Allie K. What a really fun hop this has been today. I just want to thank all the people who did streams today. How fun this has been. How fun. Look, I took my pockets of my ties and pointed them all toward Penelope. I'm going to kind of wait for folks to come in. Hi, Angie. Welcome, Angie. Welcome, Allie K. It usually takes a little bit for people to find us. Hi, Aunt Beck. Aunt Beck, I loved your masterboard, and thank you so much for starting that album. Let me get these little ties. I did go ahead and press out my ties, and I saved the ends of them after I cut them, and they're going to make perfect little pockets. I've got little ones and big ones. And it didn't hit me to do that right away, so I also have some just triangular pieces that could be made into pockets. I love this gold one. So I'm just going to kind of wait for people to come in. Hi, Nina. Hi, Sabrina, the mismatch crafter. Is it Sabrina? Yeah, it's Sabrina. I have to read my tablet from 3 feet away. Hi, Renee. Welcome, Red Wagon. So I'm getting down to the larger ones here, the larger pockets. After you press out the ties, after you see the ties really kind of go like this, sort of. And I cut that end off after I pressed it. And look at this. It makes a really nice pocket. I've got 1, 2, and this is silk. Several of these are silk. This one I wouldn't have known that it was silk, except for the label said it was silk. So this one I guessed. This one just looks silky to me. I love this one. Yeah, 3, 4, 5. And you know, I might, since this is a master board, what I might do is put my pieces down as I'm planning, but I may not do anything over them until I make copies, because I actually want, I kind of want these as backgrounds, what I'm actually going to do on my master board. So let's talk about what went on tonight. Beth Schuler came on right after my introduction, and she did napkins on her masterboard. Very nice, Beth. And then she was showing all of her mark making tools and how she used them. And just very interesting. But what caught my attention in Beth's stream was she said, I wonder who started this concept of masterboards. And that got me off into a little Google, and I could not find any origin point. Maybe some of you that are really good researchers can find the origin of the term masterboard. Now, I found motherboard, and I'm thinking that it comes from the concept of storyboard, only we kind of turned it into an art thing where, you know, I'm not real sure who started it or where it came from, but I know it's been very popular in the last few years. The earliest link that I saw just in my 5 minutes of browsing was 2017. There's several links out there on Google when you Google it. But I thought that was very interesting that Beth would bring that up about the history. Who started this? How did this concept of masterboarding get started? Somebody started it, you know, like somebody started the pocket letters and the ATC coins, and it just kind of evolved. So let's see, I'm just going to put all these little triangular pieces together. So that's what I got out of Beth. And then from Beth, we went to Ann Lahr, and Ann did Odie Godie Tim Holtz. I don't know if Tim Holtz would want to be called Odie Goldie. He looks kind of cute and young to me, but Odie Goldie Tim Holtz ephemera. And that was fun to watch. And Anne, oh my goodness, Anne was showing this, all the examples of mess. You guys have to go back and watch these videos. I will have a playlist after I get it. Well, the playlist is out there now. It should be right at the top of my playlist. It should be public. I've been adding the videos as I watch them. And Anne has shown us, oh my goodness, she must have 10 or 15 masterboards already done. So she's been doing these for quite a while, and they're all fabulous, Anne. And she stepped up to the plate because Shelley, I didn't know until, I didn't get Shelley's message until Anne was probably about halfway through her stream. And Shelley's over in Hawaii, and Hawaii has been experiencing weather issues. It's raining over there. Now, Shelley, I think, is on the other side of the island, but still it's affecting her internet. She was going to do a premiere, and she was having trouble uploading it. However, when that video gets uploaded, Shelley's going to send me the link, and I will put her video in the playlist, and I will put a link to it on my community tab too. So don't forget Shelley. I'm sure she's worked hard on her video. I tell you, sometimes you just can't win sometimes. And Shelley has been really busy with a move. She's coming back to the States. So my heart goes out to her. I said, just relax. Anne stepped up to the plate. Anne said, sure, I'll cover for her. Just throw your hook out when you're ready for me to stop gabbing. And Anne did a wonderful job. She was sewing. Her other concept that I like with Anne was she was showing her own ephemera. She says, she asked, does anybody create their own ephemera? You know, like we can go to the store and buy ephemera. Tim Holtz, I love Tim Holtz ephemera. And but she's talking about, you know, taking old documents and that. And it got me to thinking of ephemera that I could share. Like my father has, he graduated from Oklahoma A&M, when, what was it, Norman, Oklahoma, agriculture. It's when it was still a agricultural university. My dad taught school, but he was really, my dad, I can remember him saying, because he was, World War II kind of interrupted his career plans. He wanted to open a farm implement business, and World War II kind of got in the way. And I have my father's college degree. I have my mother and father got married by the Justice of the Peace. Now, I really don't have anything related to the wedding other than they honeymooned in a local hotel, which was a big thing back then. And right now, they've converted. The hotel is still up and running, not as a hotel, but they've made it into a retirement center. And I've often wondered what room in there, but I do have the receipt from my mom and dad's honeymoon from that hotel. And I'm not sure if it shows the room number. That would be very interesting to know who's sleeping in their room. Oh dear, I don't know. And I have my mother's wedding ring case. I think my mother wore the band out on her wedding ring. I think I either have her wedding ring in there or the engagement ring. I don't think I have both. But the band, my mother never took that wedding ring off, and the band was worn thin in there. Well, she took it off eventually because of the band, but and I was trying to think of what other ephemera in my life, report cards, that type of thing. Would I want to show my report cards? I have my own college. I don't have a Bachelor of Fine Arts. I have a legal assistant associate degree and several certificates and stuff like that I've completed. That's ephemera of your own life that, you know, you kind of ho-hum it. Or, you know, maybe a ticket to, when I lived in Madison, one of my friends and I went to a concert over in the Milwaukee area. And, you know, I have the brochure and all the tickets and all the stuff that, you know, I keep. When I was younger, I traveled around a lot. I still have a lot of ephemera. And think about the ephemera now. Of course, with our, well, in the last year, our comings and goings have kind of slowed, but we still have ephemera. I have things left over from, oh, that big eclipse that we had here not too long ago. I have you, and think about our software ephemera. Think about how our internet has changed our life, and our ephemera that's on the software. Like, well, for those of you who blog, maybe your banners. You know, my banner on my YouTube banner, my Penelope. It's a, if you go out to my home page, you'll see my Penelope up there, and you'll see the TheMeriAtelier. That's ephemera. That's current ephemera, and that's digital ephemera. A lot of advertising. It could probably be considered digital ephemera someday. I don't know if you'd want to save it, but some of those ads are kind of interesting. So, of course, they wouldn't be owned by you, but still. All right, Masterboards. Anyway, so after Anne got done, and Anne did a really super job of covering for Shelley, and I really want to thank Anne for stepping up to the plate and doing that. She just no sweat, I'll do it, you know, and she did fine, she did great. And we loved it because she got it. She was showing all these photos and everything and telling the stories that went with them. I love to hear the stories. And she says, I'll keep going if people don't leave. And I'm going, you have 60 some people in there listening to you, Anne. Nobody's leaving. So, and then after Anne, Lori came on, Paint Girly. And what I found interesting about Lori, when I watch these streams, I try to pick out the things that really speak to me personally, and that's what you should do too. Things that inspire you. Write them down. Deity Willingham says, write it down. What inspired me about Paint Girly is, Lori, is that I have never seen anybody brayer distress ink. She was using her brayer on using it on the distress pads. You know, she put the brayer on the distress pad and put it on her paper. She was making a masterboard for thank you cards. Lori runs an Etsy shop, and she sells a lot of her crafts. And she did an excellent job. And I asked her if she was going to make copies because she just had a 9x12, and she got what, maybe 4, maybe 5, maybe 6 thank you cards. I'm going, you mean you make copies of that? That's what a masterboard is for, you know? And she was putting these little shrinky-dink flowers on them. I'm going, you need to make copies. You're going to have more than 4 people order from you. So, and then after Lori, Aaron in the, am I pronouncing that right? Aaron Dex came on, and Lori did wonderful floral collage, and then she put some copper tape on there, and she did mark making. And I couldn't stay to the end of Aaron's because I had to come set up. So we are having fun with Masterboards. So am I going to finish mine? Well, you know what I was thinking? I have more than enough here. I took the rest of the ties that I pulled out of that bag. I'm just going to turn them the other way so you can see what I have here. And I opened everything up while I was watching Barb Owen this afternoon. And Barb was doing pareidolia art. If you guys have never heard of pareidolia, it's like where you see things. You see images like in the clouds and well, what Barb was doing, she had made pictures of cracks in the sidewalk. And she was picking images out of that. And that was interesting. I'm talking about Barb Owen now. Barb was not a part of our chat, but while I was watching Barb this afternoon, I was doing this. I was straightening out all these ties. And I'm just going to kind of stack them up here and choose my colors. Now I'm going to have to move Penelope. I have more than enough for this board, but I think rather than putting big areas on there, I'm going to cut strips out of some of these. And maybe even narrow strips. Now, I could cut it this way for a couple, and I could cut it this way too. And so I'm going to play with these. And I don't think that I'm going to, I do not think that I am, let me pull these off. I don't think that I'm going to do anything on top of them. I think that all the art that I do on top of them, I'll do on the copies, because I'm going to make copies of mine. And then that way I can use them. I can use them in several different ways at different times. But right now, what I want to do is I'm kind of putting these out so I can see, so I can choose the colors that I want. Some of these are polyester and some of them are really nice silk. Now this one kind of surprised me too, because this one's silk, and I left the labels on here for now. I'm going to be taking the labels off. But I left the labels on because I thought they were fun. Oh, let's put this one here. And I wanted you guys to see. Some of them came off while I was working. Let's see. I kind of want to pull these out so I can choose the colors that I want. I love this one too. This one has to be silk. I wish you could feel this. It's almost like a silk scarf, but it's a tie. It was a necktie. And it was really interesting to see how these were made. Some of them, they were all made on the same concept. And while I was streaming earlier today, Aunt Beck and Nettie were telling me, because I felt like they were cut on the bias. And Aunt Beck and Nettie both agreed that, yes, when they make neckties, they cut them on the bias, and it takes so much fabric. And I was separating these as I was tearing these apart. On every tie, I see a seam right in here. And I'm going, well, that's because it's been cut on the bias. See, there's a seam here too. They must have had a shorter piece of fabric. And if you cut it on the bias, you're cutting at an angle. This one's pretty long from here to here. But, and then they had, of course, the point here that I cut off. But the other thing that I noticed was they had those seams right there. Every tie had a seam in it, right about the same place. And they all had interfacing. And then on the interfacing, most of them had the interfacing. And then they had another little silky piece right down in here in addition to the interfacing. And I'm thinking that just gave, now this is pretty thick material here, but on something like this, it would just add a certain amount of body to the tie. So let's see, I think I'm about to the end. I think I got them all here. I think I have everything else. No, I have one more. The one that I like so well. I like this one, and I love that gold one. And you know what? I love the backs as much as I like the fronts. This is another silk one. Now, somebody had asked in one of the streams, one of my streams when I was talking about silk, had asked, how do you know silk fabric from another fabric? And my answer at that time, and I had to think about it a little bit, but you know, a silky fabric is soft. It's a very high thread count, which means, you know, that's what makes it so nice and soft. Silk is a nice soft fabric. That's why we sleep on silk pillowcases, to ease the wrinkles in our faces. Versus a cotton polyester. This is a heavier polyester here, and you can just tell just by feeling almost. It's a heavier fabric. You can almost Well, I wouldn't say you could see the thread count in this, but I can tell this is not silk. You can just tell by the feel. Now, the other way, and I was thinking about it, we were talking about that in one of my other videos about how you could tell the difference between silk and something that you think may be silk, but you're not sure. And one of the knowledgeable people in my stream at that time said, take a little piece, like I might take this little piece where I clipped off the points on these, on the ones that I didn't quite get the pocket made on it. And you could take a little piece. You have to be careful, take it outside. Don't do it on your desk, Mary. And take a piece of each fabric and light a match to it. And the polyester one, or the one that's an artificial fabric, if I could use that term, will melt, because it's got a certain amount of polyester is a certain amount of man-made material that is will melt. A silk, which is well, I think it comes from the silkworm, doesn't it? It's not a man-made thread, and it will burn. It won't melt, it will burn. So I've never tried that experiment, but that makes a lot of sense to me. So I thought I'd pass that along. So let's say hello to everybody who's coming in here. I'm going to make my masterboard tonight, but I am not going to decorate it or upgrade or, doing any more to it than put my fabrics down, because I want my fabrics to be the masterboard. I want my ties and all these wonderful colors to be the masterboard. And then when I make my copies, then I'll play around with it, with the copies. So let's welcome people in here. Welcome to everybody who's come in. Let's see. Hi, Kathy D. Leslie Casey. Hi, everyone. Hi, Cheryl. Darla K. Renee, Little Red Dragon. Teresa. Angie saying good night. Angie's been cleaning house today. Her arms. And she got her. Did you get your vaccination shot today? Yeah. She says her arm is hurting her and she's tired. So you go to bed and have some sweet dreams, Angie. Good night. Cheryl's here. Darla. Renee, Angie. Arlene. Hi, Arlene. Arlene's listening and lurking. I got some happy mail from Arlene, and I've already let her know. I'm going to open that Sunday night. It's going to be hard. It's going to be hard. But I'm going to work on my masterboard tonight. And Arlene's tired. She's going to just sit in the bleachers, Lori says. Mary, it was painty paper printed with copper. Oh, yes, Aaron. I said copper tape, didn't I? Yeah, Aaron, it was out of the same magazine or catalog that Aaron was using, and she painted that with a copper paint. That's right, Cheryl. I did hear her say that. Thank you for mentioning that. Teresa, little sister Spitfire, says, yes, thank you so much, Anne. I loved your ephemera. Yes, we really loved what Anne did. I don't think Anne realizes how much we enjoy hearing her talk. And I had a laugh because Beth said, Anne, you're just a couple 100 miles to the south of me. Let's all hop on the bus, and because Ann came on after Beth Schuler did. She says, we'll just hop on the bus and scoot ourselves down to Ann's now. Angie says, my dad was born the day my grandfather had to leave for the war, so he missed my dad's birth. Oh, I'm so sorry. That was really a hard time in our parents' life, and we have a lot to be grateful to our parents. They actually did fight for our freedoms, because we never really entered World War II until they bombed Pearl Harbor. I don't think. I think that there was talk of it, but I don't think the United States actually got involved in the war until they bombed Pearl Harbor. That war was going on before we got involved. And the reason I'm mentioning that is because of our parents. Our parents and our parents' generation sacrificed a lot for our freedoms. All right, end of that soapbox. Let's see. Cheryl says, thank you to all the Masterboard creators and today's live streamers. Yes, thank you to all of you. So many cool, wonderful ideas. And I noticed Keisha said, you know, these Masterboards remind me of a lot of the Pick 10 games. And they do in a way, because you're putting down different ephemeras and different things. You're working off of, maybe stenciling or putting down a base coat of paint. In a way, you are working because you're preparing a large area to use later. And I was thinking about that remark and how Becky and I have used her dirty dozens in the past. Like we've done dirty dozens and then we cut them up and make cards, or we'll make ATCs or tags. In that sense, they are a master board. But in the sense that we actually cut up our base paper and we don't copy it. I think the concept of a master board is to make a master board and use it, take and photocopy it and use your photocopy and make multiple copies and use it in different ways. So maybe the creation of a master board is similar to a Pick 10 or a Dirty Dozen or whatever. But the concept, I know of most of my Pick 10s and Dirty Dozens, just like I said tonight, I'm not going to do art on my masterboard. I'm going to use my masterboard as the impetus for my art. So I think that's a way that we can differentiate between a masterboard and a Pick 10. Just to let you know what was going through my head. Hi, Ami. Ami said she got her Timmy stuff today. Did you order new Timmy stuff? Did you order the new stuff? He has a lot of new things. I think that I actually got his black and gold. He was showing them in his ideology video, his black and gold and white and gold journal spots, those little quotes and everything. I think I actually got those by accident. And I don't know if these are new or not. When I do make my master board, I'm going to use these, and I don't think I can well, I don't know about legally, photograph these and use them as a part of the master board, I guess you could, but I'm talking about just taking them, lining them up on a photocopy. You might be able to do that for your own use and use it in art later. But I would just as soon, to tell you the truth, I would just as soon go and get me another pack. His ephemera is packed full. Like you get in this, let's see, how many people did you get here? He usually tells us how many pieces are in here. 45 pieces. So let's just say that I lined this up on a sheet of paper, and let's just pretend that I got 9 pieces off of a sheet of paper. Well, 9 might be even. Let's say, 9, I guess. That would take 5 sheets of paper. I guess you could do it for a little cheaper if you photocopied it, and you could keep these as masters, but I wouldn't recommend it. I would say go get another package of these. Now photocopy this and put these on whatever you're making off of your photocopy, and then you'll have the original and your master base. I usually use the original of these. I don't think when I do my live streams, you see it on the video, but I don't go mass produce these. In fact, I think that would be for yourself, it might be fair use if you never do anything with them other than use it in your own art journal. But if you would mass produce these and then start a little business out there on Etsy and sell them, you might get into some copyright issue troubles with Tim Holtz. I'm not up for that. I like what he does. And I think he's very, very generous with his ephemera. So my idea is to use these to do my masterboard, and I'm going to use the ephemera, and I might add some lace later, but I'm going to do the masterboard first. So that's what I'm going to do. Let's see, who else am I missing in here? Angie and Teresa and Ami and Becky is telling Allie to refresh. And Beck put an album out on the Fibsville Friends group for masterboard copies if you want to share. And when I get copies made of this, and I might when I do the copies, I might add the labels so that you can have the labels with the ties. I might not have them on the same tie, but I'm not intending to send out my masterboard originals, if that makes any sense to you. If I send anything out, I'm so backed up. I just want to get the masterboard done. So that's what I'm going to work on. That was my little spiel. And I will say how much I enjoyed this hop. I truly did enjoy this hop. This has been phenomenal. Just been a phenomenal hop. I learned from everybody. And I know what I'm going to suggest that we do next month. I kind of have already chosen the theme. I think they'll like it, though. I think that the gals will go for it. All right. So I'm going to use this gold one for sure. And I'm going to use this one for sure, because I love how those two go. And you know what I really like is the back of this gold one. I just think that's almost as beautiful as the front. So I've got gold and blue. And I think I like this red striped, but you know, I like this red kind of a pinstripe here. I like that. And this, all three of these are silk. Now, the other one that I like, I know it isn't silk. This is polyester. This one is polyester, I know. But what I like are the medallions in here. And this reminds me both of well, three people. Barb Owen, Becky with the Mandelas. And then when I turn it over and look at this so reminds me of Tanya McGuire, because Tanya is one that uses those graphic shapes and the lines through here. Very, very Tanya McGuire right here. She may not agree, but that's who that one reminds me of. Then I want some darker colors, so I'm just going to pick out 3 or 4 here. I kind of like this one, but I think I'm going to save this one and this one together in another, maybe another masterboard. I'm not going to use all of these, even though I opened them up. I'm going to have to fold these up real nice after I get done here. And I'm not going to use this one. This kind of jumps with the blues and that I just showed you. But what I think I'm going to use is either this dark brown. I like that. I like this one. And I do like this one, which is, again, a polyester. This one's nice, but here again, that can kind of go in the blue tones. And this is another silk one. This one's pretty. This one would go over here, but, well, I might just keep it out. And here is another, we'll go with the blue tones. So over here are the ones that I'm not going to use. I'm just going to kind of put them in a pile and fold them up nice. And this would be nice to put in one of those project bags that I have. Maybe from Mrs. Aunt Beck. And you know what I like about this blue one? It's such a pretty blue, but you turn it over and look at the dark. And that's not a lining. That's part of the fabric. If it's a lining, they made it. I don't think that's a lining. I'm trying to see because I can't separate the two. It's all one piece. This is not, so I've never seen a fabric like that before. So I'm going to put that one there, and this one, I'm not going to use this one. These blue tones could all go in one, and you know, these would be nice to use. Now I'm putting mine on a paper substrate, but these would, I was thinking about Barb Owen too, how she would take something like this, or I could visualize Barb Owen taking something like this and putting them on a fabric base and doing freeform quilting over them. I could see Barb Owen doing that. And my machine is not, mine's just I don't think I can do freeform quilting on that old machine that I got. Okay, so now I'm just going to take these, and I'm going to take these and kind of fold up this way. Come on, just nice and neat, Mary. And then fold them back. Come on, come on. Fold them back. They get skinnier as you go down the pile here. Where is this one? This one and this one. And I want to fold these up and put them in, maybe I'll put them in Becky's project bag. Just kind of fold it up nice and neat. I think that'll go. Now, what did I do with the project bags? They're over here. Yes, they are. Here it is, right here. Becky, you're going to hold my extra ties here. And I'll always think of Becky when I open these project bags. And Ruth. Ruth sent me one too. So we're just going to set that in there. And maybe I'll put the pockets that I saved out in there so I have them all in one. This is what I did all afternoon, was pull these apart and iron them out. And I should probably put a piece of cardboard or something in there to keep it nice and straight. There we go. We'll just put it like that. Now, I want to cut these. And I want to cut strips. Now, I have here these fabric scissors that Sue sent me, but I also have something that I don't use a whole lot. One of these. I got this after Tanya told me, you need one of those rollerblade cutters, I guess you call them. I'm not sure exactly what you call them. And the blade retracts. It's retracted now. If you want to use it, you press this handle in, and I think you lock it down here. It locks down there. And then you use it that way. Now, I'm not sure I can use that on here. I haven't used one of these in a long, long time. I'm going to try it on this first, the blue one first, and I'm just going to cut some strips. And I'm going to try to cut enough of these to cover my board. And I might cut them in different shapes. I don't know. We'll see and look how dirty this is. Oh dear. This is the front and this is the back. Now, I think I will take the labels off now. Let me take the little label off here. This was a Wellman Wembley. And I can't read it because it's something knotted for blue, black, and a something. And I can't read the, because it's printed on there kind of in a gold, I would say it's not a gold thread, it's like a foil almost, in gold lettering. But let's just kind of trim this off. And if I get a little hole in there, I'm not going to cry about it because I just want to get it off of there. See, I'll get a little notch in there, but that's okay. Now, and I'll just cut right here. And I think I need probably my metal ruler. It's been such a long time since I've used one of those cutters that if I'm doing this wrong, you guys, and cut myself, don't look. And the blades, the blade is retracted. There. Okay. So I'm just going to put my ruler here, and I think all I have to do is run it along the side. Oh, I have to run it closer to the ruler. I'm going to get a bad cut. But that's okay for these. Let's just cut a few strips here, and then maybe I'll cut some squares, and we'll see. I got to practice my cutting here. So I'm going to stay close to the side of the ruler, and then I got a much nicer cut. That's a lot easier than using my scissors, isn't it? Using my scissors, I was going, which I'm not that great at. So let's turn it this way. No, let's cut a hunk off here. Maybe right about in. And you know what? You don't have to use ties. This is just what I have because I've got a whole bunch of them at the thrift store. You could use fabric scraps. And I'm sure you quilters have a lot of fabric scraps. Yeah, I got to learn how to do that nice and straight. Now see, this is let's cut this off here. This is where I'm sure because they probably cut this on the bias that they had to piece some of these ties together. But I know, even from my inexperienced sewing days, well, no, they did not match the stripes when they did this either. Look, this was a part of the tie probably that went around the neck, but they did not match these stripes. That's interesting. All right. Okay with me. It was probably okay with the guy that wore it too. He probably didn't care. I'm going to cut it right in between these. Or maybe I should cut it. You know, I could make a V out of this. Cut it here. Cut it on this and just use this as another V. No. Well, I could, and then that would get rid of the extra bulk in there. That's what I'm going to do. So I'm just going to cut it at an angle here. Just listening to me think. Now, if some of you, it's getting late, and I know we are all in different time zones. You on the East Coast, I forgive you if you get tired and have to go to bed. I sometimes stay up at all hours of the night. Ami says, cut away from you, Mary, not toward you. Oh, okay, Ami. I got it, Ami. Mary's going to kill herself in front of us. Cut away from you. All right. Well, that's a challenge. Cut away from me. I want to cut this right. I want to cut this right here. Cut away from you. Like that. The blade should practically touch the ruler. Okay, I think I'm getting that done too. And that's what guides it and makes it straight. That I understand. Because when I don't touch that ruler, I'm going off in another rabbit trail. Yeah, I usually use the scissors to cut with. Now this, look, I have no, that's not a label. Let's just snip that off. I don't want that. Let's just snip it off. Ami says, just like that. And retract your blade when you are not using it. That blade is sharp. Oh, okay. Well, I'm not going to retract it between pieces. I'll just retract it when I'm doing something else. Otherwise, I'd be retracting and what do you want to say? What's the opposite of retracting? Tracting and retracting? Throw that away. Although, this could make a little piece on your board, couldn't it? Let's keep it. See, this could make a little piece on the board, a little triangular piece. Oh, I'm going to cut this off with the scissors. It'll be just as easy as trying to get that ruler in there. Because it's kind of, this was that seam, that's middle seam in there. And this is just half of the middle seam. And this could actually go on the masterboard, but I'm just getting rid of this seam. And I imagine they would seam it in there because that fabric is cut on the bias. And when you cut on the bias, you're cutting like this is your fabric, and your threads are running this way and this way. And when you cut on the bias, you cut strips like this. And so when you make your ties, to make a tie this long, say that this is the length of your tie, you're going to need a piece of fabric at least 16 inches long, and at least, what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 12 inches wide if you were going to make a tie something like this. So that's why, and then you have to allow for, you have to allow for that tie for, well, you probably need a longer piece because you need a point and a point down here, so your tie is going to get shorter in here. So you need a pretty big piece of fabric, a very, very long piece of fabric to make one of these ties, which are about 1.5 yards long in the end. And that's what Becky was saying in my earlier chat. To make a tie, it takes a fairly long piece of fabric. And I really didn't really think about that too much. Let's snip this off. I'm just going to kind of save my scrappies, but these pieces are going to be saved for the masterboard. And those strips that I cut that I just threw over here. And I'm actually going to do it tonight, is arrange these on this. I got double-sided tape. I guess that's all that I had, right? Yeah, for now. Now I got an angle here. So let's just cut these at an angle. We'll just cut angle strips here. That's what we'll have, angled strips. I can cut them like 1 inch wide or 2 inches wide, whatever. They're just gonna, it's gonna kind of be kind of like I'm concentrating on my cutting. It's gonna be kind of like a crazy quilt masterboard in a way. For this one, I'm not gonna have any type of patterning on it. I might make some squares because I don't want to strip everything like this. I might make some square pieces. But this black, this dark, it's not black, it's really a dark blue. It may look black to you. It's a dark blue. It's a navy blue. It will kind of dominate, so I can make smaller pieces, is Mary's thinking. Let's see, I think I'm going to cut this one in between. Maybe like 1.5 inches wide. We'll see what I end up with in the end. And I think what's going to make this easy is that I'm going to use double-sided tape to put down, and then I'll just go. And once it's down, it's going to be down. It's going to be down. All right, I'm going to cut this. I think I'll cut this piece off here. I probably should cut that other one a little wider, but. So this, in a sense, is what you glue bookers, what you people who do glue books always say, I don't want to think about it. I don't want to think about it. And I'm going, think about it. Well, I'm not thinking about this other than I think I want small stripes and large stripes. I'm not following a plan. Now these I'm going to cut. Since I cut these at a diagonal this way, I'm going to cut these this way. Just a few. And you can see well, that might be a part of the tie though too. So I'm just going to cut a few pieces out here. And then the others, I think I might make some diamonds or some square. Diamonds would be nice, wouldn't it? Oh, I didn't get this one very well. I'm going to cut it with my scissors. I think I'm cutting, I'm cutting with the bias when I cut this way because the threads are running, the threads are really running up and down like this. The tie was cut on the bias. So when I cut this way, I was cutting against the grain of the fabric. Yeah, Mary understands it. She acts like she knows what she's doing. We know better. And I'm not as brave as I can just go zip, zip like some people do. I'm not that brave yet. All right, so I got a whole bunch of little pieces here, but I don't think I want to do, let's save this one for now. I might need this. I'll come back to this. Let's get brave here. Now to make diamonds, I'm going to cut, let's see. I want to cut, I could do it different ways. I could cut this way and then this way and that way. So I think that's what I'll do if I can visualize this again. So my diamond, here, let's just use my ruler. My diamond is going to go this way. We'll cut the base of the diamond first. We'll see what I come up with. Hey, it's just a piece of fabric. So I'm seeing this as a head of a diamond is what I'm seeing. And it may, let's put this on a point. Let's put it like so. So I got that little square at a point of a square. So I should have a, well, maybe from there, from here to here would be a triangle like that. From there to, needs to come down a little. Well, sort of a diamond. This may not be straight. My head's going, do you know what you're talking about, Mary? See, are there diamonds on here? There's triangles. Here, let's match it up with one of these. Let me turn this. Because I can see a diamond out of this. That might be a better guide for me. Let's turn it here. Yeah, this works for me. And actually, you can just cut squares and turn them diagonal. What are you talking about, Mary? Let's just cut a couple of squares. Except for this isn't square fabric. No. All right, then. Let's see. How many do I have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That should be sort of good. We're going to cut it here. We'll see what I end up with. A pretty fabric. Mary's going to destroy it. Whoops, my ruler kind of moved. Well, it doesn't have to be perfect. And I didn't press hard enough. And I got a shaky hand. I probably could run my cutter through that again. but I'm just going to snip it off. All right. So I'd have to maybe square this off. Let's see. Let's square it off at 2 inches. 2 inches? No, 3 inches. 3 inches this way. And let's put it there. And 1, 2, 3. So it'll be cut this way. Turn my board again. It's easier for me to turn my board than the fabric. And it'll be kind of, I'll have to trim this off. So I'll get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'll get 3 by 3 squares, which I'll turn on an angle, and there'll be a diamond. And I'm not going to worry about seams or anything like that. That's not a concern for me, because I'm just going to put this down on double-sided tape. Let's see, I want to press a little harder on this. Probably shouldn't do it twice. That cut it. All right, now I want to cut this at 3 and 6, I think. Meri kind of knows what she's doing. I wouldn't guarantee that it's perfectly knows. Can I do this over this twice? It looks like I can. Okay, this is a scrap piece. We'll just put it up there. Now I want to cut this at 1, 2, 3. So I'll have 2 3 by 3 squares, which is, if I turn it at an angle, they will be diamonds. So I want to make my diamonds. I think I'm going to go for 3 by 3 diamonds on this masterboard. I said I wasn't going to plan this out, but I like the idea of doing diamonds. And I think I can get another one out of here. Can I? 3 by 3. And then I'll have some, I might be able to get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This one will be a little wonky, but I don't mind a wonky diamond on my masterboard. It'll be a little wonky right in there. That's okay. Let's push this over a little. And we're going to cut this first. Let's save these. Becky said, Meri could probably learn quilting now. Yeah, Meri has so many hobbies that she can't keep up the way it is. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I want to cut. I'm going to place it and then turn my board. Now, let's turn my board and then place it. I'll be all night at this. I understand if you guys need to say, ho hum, I'm going to bed. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I understand perfectly. I'm not even going to attempt a circle. I might attempt it if I was cutting it freehand, you know, make a half circle and not out of a flimsy piece. But okay, now I need to cut this in half. Right. It's almost 3 by 3. I got my candle here. I'm not a quilter. I know quilters who do beautiful work are very precise people. And I'm just not that precise. I'm not that precise of a person. I just slap it on, and so see, I do have my triangles in the end. My diamonds, which is what I want. However, I don't want them all the same. Let's flip this one. Let's flip it. Well, you guys can't see maybe, but if you look at this, is a much darker piece of fabric. This is more red on the, so I might just flip it and make it, you know, reverse it, give it some interest. And I'm sure people that are quilters go, oh, this is beginning to look like a quilt. I don't want it to be quilty though. So I might just do something crazy. Like, where's my scraps? Do something crazy on it. But if I do, because I've got a base here of, if I put this down on my double-sided tape and then put this down like this, doing crazy, then I've got, this is down and this is down, but I got a loose piece in here. This is not down. So I would probably have to come in maybe, and this is paper. This is strong paper. I don't think I'd want to sew on a machine. I wonder if you could use one of those denim needles. Is Becky still in here? She is. Becky, could you use a denim needle to sew through a 140-pound watercolor paper? Not that I'm going to, because I don't want to use it anyway because I got duct tape. But I'm wondering, would a denim needle, disregard the duct tape on here, would a denim needle made to go through jean denim sew through a strong piece of 140-pound watercolor paper? Oh, Becky said good night. I'll let somebody else answer that question. Well, I'm going to have to figure out, I don't want this to be quilty. So I may do something, and I don't want it to overlap. So I may do something, you know, make it crazy quilty. I'll have to figure out what I want to do. I'm going to cut the pieces first. I'm being too precise, I think. It's starting to look like a quilt to me, and I don't want a quilt. I don't want a quilt. We'll stick with those for now. Let's go to, because we'll leave quilting to the quilters. I'm not a quilter. I don't even want to go there. Rhonda says, hello. Hello, Mary and all. I pray everyone is doing well. Hi, Rhonda. Let's read let's see what's going on in chat. Becky said good night. Nancy said, me too, Ami. Ami says, who encouraged Mary to get a roller cutter? I'm going to need to take my Auntie Van. Lo, I'm nervous over here. And because I have the blade pointing toward me this way. Does that make you feel better? Designs by CAD Pro. Hi, Tim. Late night party in here, Tim says. Tim is Designs by CAD Pro. Tim does, Tim participates in our Saturday video hops. Welcome, Tim. Darla says, Mary, you may very well love improvision piecing, which does not require a ruler. Uneven seams are ideal. Now, yeah, I probably would love that. Blade closed. I'm taking your guys' advice because now I have an artificial candle, not a real flame. Tim, I don't know if you missed it or not, but I was burning a real candle around Christmas, and I know exactly what I was doing. I was putting that little owl in my grandniece had sent me in my art journal, and I was putting a piece of tissue paper, and I that tissue paper across the table, and it landed right in the flame, and I set me on fire. I didn't really. I just had to put out the flames. So when they tell me to retract the blade, I listen. But I don't, when I'm cutting, I'm not going to cut, retract, cut, retract, cut, retract. That would bore me stiff. Yeah, I'm glad you're okay. I didn't burn myself. I burnt myself worse. When did I burn myself the other? Oh, my brother made hash brown potatoes, and I picked the pan up. And he had the pan sitting on the stove, and I thought it was sitting there for a while, so I thought it was cool. I picked it up because I grabbed the last one, the last hash brown patty type thing. I grabbed the last one and put it on my plate, and I wanted to put the pan in the sink. And I picked it up and was just going to put it over in the sink, and it was still hot. I burnt myself worse there than I did with a candle. Just don't something. Okay. Just don't leave it open, huh? You can sew on paper, and unlikely you need a denim one. A good 14th inch needle would work on 140-pound watercolor paper, because 140-pound watercolor paper is pretty thick. It's not like our card. It's thicker than cardstock. I guess the answer to that is try it, Mary. That's what Barb Owen would say. Try it and see. Tim Holtz would say that too. Why don't you try it? I got to get my machine going first. Mary, don't put the lock on. Then it'll close automatically. I don't know if this one will close automatically. This one, the lock is kind of... Why didn't it close automatically when I set it down? The lock isn't on. I don't think this one closes automatically. Well, maybe it does. Because I put it like this to cut. Oh, yeah. So I put it like this, and it is closed now. What makes it close automatically is the handle. When I press the handle like this, the blade comes out. When I let go of the handle, the blade goes in. So if I leave it like this, it's open. It's not locked, but it's open, but it's not, the blade's not open. That it's closed, but it's unlocked. Darla says, yes, it does. Okay. You've done it. You've done it, Darla says. She's done it. If the 14 didn't work, a 16 would. Now, see, that's the other thing. I looked for needles the other day. I'm very, I don't really stitch on heavy fabric. I've stitched mostly on cottons. So when I've stitched, and it's been a long time since I've stitched. But I was looking at needles, and this is a quilt store. You would have think they had a whole wall of needles, but I didn't see anything on any package that said 16. I found something that said for use on leather and for use on denim and what else? Denim, and I forget what the other thing was. But I didn't see a number 16. I looked at every package. I didn't see any number 16. Quilting needles are sharper than a regular needle. Well, this was a quilt shop, but they had a whole wall of needles. They had sewing machine needles. They also had embroidery needles. But I didn't see anything because I looked for 16. I also looked for, what was the other thing she told me to look for? Whatever it was, I probably didn't look for it. 1490, 1600. Okay. 1490, 1600. Okay. I might have seen 100, and I'm not sure I saw 16/100. I'll have to go look again because I'm not up on all of that. I just got the one that said for use on leather and for use on denim, and it said something else on the package besides denim. I can't remember what it said right now. Oh yeah, let me see where. Oh, I'm laughing because I turned around. Let's see. I think I have them here. Are these them? No. Do you have them handy? That's the question of the day. Here's my thrift haul. Oh, this might be them. Oh no, they were in that. Here, they're in here. They're in this package. Hold it just a minute. I got them right here. I've got them handy. Here's the one that says leather, and the little packet came off of it. And here's the one that says jeans denim needles. And here's the leather needles themselves. Now let me read to you what it says on there. In fact, I'll hold it up close so you guys can see. It says, this is the leather one. It says Art 1715, 5 by 2, 130/705 HLL. See, it says leather on there. And when you turn it over, it says made in Germany. Smith's leather needle with cutting points for leather, imitation leather, and similar material. Do not use for textiles. For sewing of normal material, we recommend our universal needles. I know what a universal needle is. Denim, jeans, or stretch material can be sewn more easily with our corresponding special needles. And then it tells you what to use for knits. Enjoy sewing with the good needles. But it doesn't really, it gives 130/705 HLL, I think is the closest. And here's what the package looks like. I don't know if that makes any sense to you. It looks like it says, oh, it says 90/14. Is that what you said above there? 1490? I think right here it says 90/14. Those will be fine, Ami says. Just use a sturdy thread and go slow on the machine. The machine is an old machine. Okay, here's the one I got for denim because it said jeans and denim, and I thought that would work on that painter's drop cloth. And this says 130/717. No, I can't read that number. Does it give a number over here? I don't see. I'm probably flipping it too much. Oh, maybe it's right in. See, they put these numbers. I don't like how manufacturers package things. How am I supposed to read that? It says jeans, I guess. It says jeans on there. Can you make up the word jeans now that you know what it is? I had to look at it 3 times before I figured out that said jeans. And down here, I think it says 130. It's either 130 or 139/716 something J. 90/14. So this says 90/14 here too. But this says for jeans and this says for leather. So what's the difference if they're both 90/14? The needles look exactly the same to me. This says leather and that says jeans. Maybe this is made out of a stronger metal. Why would, or maybe it's sharper? It got a different point or something. All right, I'm going to read chat rather than, I was just reading the packages here. Let's see what you guys are saying to me. It's a 90/14. See the bottom on the front. You mean right here. 90/14 right there. So these are both 90/14s, but one's for leather, this says leather, and one's for jeans. And I was wondering what the difference was between the leather and the jeans, except for it might be sharper or different shape point or something. Mary's learning. She says, yes, they have 2 different points, which impact how the needle goes through around the thread. Oh, goes around the thread. It's a different point. Oh, that's interesting. So now what I want to do is take them out and look at the points. They have different points. Wow. See, to the uninitiated eye, the uneducated, to the uneducated person, nobody would think that they would have different points. They all look like points to me. But I'll bet you if you got and looked at them and magnified them, I'll bet you took these needles out and made a great big magnification of them, took a photo and magnified it, zoomed in on it. I'll bet you would see a difference in those points. That is very interesting. which is the pointier? Allie K says, which is pointier? I'll bet it's the leather that's pointier, because it has to go through a fabric, a leather, which is, leather is not a man-made, real leather. If this is real leather, I mean, this is cardboard, but if you have real leather, it's not a man-made substrate. Leather is an animal skin, is it not? And fabric, denim, is a weave of material. Now there's leather that's artificial leather, if you can call it that. That is man-made, but it's still not it's not made with threads like a denim is. A denim is a weave, I would think. A thread weave. A thick thread weave. Also, the shape of the needle on the back, Darla says, where also the slant on the back of the needle, where the 3 lays before it goes into the needle. Likely the leather is rounder, still sharp, as you wouldn't want the needle to damage the leather around where the needle goes into the leather. So you're saying the leather is rounder. That's interesting. I would have thought it would have been pointier. Shaft. Okay, also the shaft on the back of the needle, where the 3 lays before it goes into the needle. What do you mean the 3 lays before it? Well, I'm using a painter's cloth, so I would think that I would probably use the one for the jeans and the denim, because mine is a painter's cloth. I do have an artificial leather. I also have some leather pieces, but I really wasn't thinking of sewing those. I was just going to cut and paint on those. I was going to make tags and ATCs. I have some scrap leather. Darla says, I think the leather is rounder. Not 100% certain. Okay. All right. I would accept your analysis, because I don't know. I mean, this is how I learn. I talk to you guys. You guys never really lead me off stray. I'll buy it for now. I'm going to put these back in the bag so I know where they are. Did I show you guys this? Did you guys see this? This is what I go to the store for. This is what I go to the store for. Look at these. This is the country register, our county register. This is actually for Nebraska. But I love that. This is going to go in my art journal. Like the Nataqua News. And then you open it up and you get all the neat quilt stuff. Dye-in wool with Easter egg dye. The 4th annual Mid-Plains Fiber Fair at York Fairgrounds, April 24th and 25th. The York Fairgrounds is between here and Lincoln. I could go to that. The Fiber Arts Circle is a fantastic way to enjoy the fair with old friends or making new ones. People are encouraged to bring their current projects, spinning, weaving, knitting. I don't spin, I don't weave, I don't knit. But I'll go. I suppose a fiber arts fair is more for knitting and yarns and stuff like that. But I do love the yarns. On-site food will be provided by Anna Street Trolley, along with other available lunch options. Dining and seating tables will be located in the 4-H building. Admission and parking are both free. Pets are not allowed. Signs directing attendees to activity locations will... I'll bet they have beginner stuff. I'm not interested in... I might go to, if they have spindle knitting, and say, oh, we had somebody who taught us spindle knitting. I even have a spindle. But they'll go, well, then you know how to do it. And I'm going, I know about it a little. Let's see. The fair seeks to bring together fiber artists of all skill levels for a wonderful weekend of classes, fellowship, and fun. Included are demonstrations, vendors, great classes, kids' activities, and a fiber art circle. See, I want art journaling with my with my masterboard. Well, there's that, and then there's dyeing wool with Easter egg dyes. Let's just look at this. Let me read some of this off to you. This is an interesting loco paper. Only it doesn't have all the vintage. It has some vintage, but it's more like butterflies and little bunny with an umbrella. April Snow Fool. This was some recipes, a cup of tea with Lydia, Easter rolls, and no-bake Easter nests. Looks like what we used to make no-bake cookies with chocolate and coconut. Gets a whole bunch of shops, quilt shops, sewing shops, Bernina. Little free pattern, Keep a Song in Your Heart. Mary March, the quilt show, the slushy bomb. What's that? Slushy bomb. My grandmother and I love slushies. Oh, my grandson. I'm sorry, I'm reading at a distance. Being 9, he likes a disgusting mix of different frozen sodas. Being a senior and a purist, I like my slushy one flavor at a time. I'm right, he's wrong, case closed. One problem, you can't find a decent slushy mix machine in the forest, and the closest convenience store is about 15 miles away. It's talking about slushies. To be fair and good, I read this article. This article was interesting. This was about when this gal was, they got this dog when this gal was a toddler. And she grew up with that dog. And this is all about, the dog's now passed away and everything. But it was an interesting read. And this is an article about a quilt that was made by this lady who travels. And she saw this tiled flooring in Portugal. And she designed a quilt based on that tiling that she saw in Portugal. Nebraska and Kansas event listings. 7 Lucky Stitches Hop. Nebraska shop. See, this is all quilty stuff. Quilter's Yard. Sewing. Full of scrap quilts. Quilts, quilts, quilts. Quilts. They need to do one. Oh, here's rug hooking. That might be fun. At Black Horse Antiques in Valley, Nebraska. I used to live in Valley. It's up by Omaha. I worked in Omaha, lived in Valley. Way, way back then in my younger days when I was young and stupid. Now I'm just old and stupid. America on the Move exhibit opens at the Best Streeter Aldrich House in Elmwood. Let's make a pin cushion. Omaha Quilters Guild. This is all about quilts. Hot cross buns, antiques, mystery quilt. I like to read these things. I'd like to see a little bit more artsy stuff in here, though. But they would probably think scrapbooking. Traveling Designs creates custom photo quilts. Wise Old Owl here. Shop in Fremont. Textiles of the West, the County Register. Oh, this was about a young girl who, when she was young, they made dolls, and she grew up and started her own business of dolls, making custom dolls. It's a fun, this is going to go in my art journal. It'll be, this will make a, like I said, this is about the size of one of my pages, so I'll have 8 pages here. This will go in April, I think. All right. I'm not getting my masterboard done, am I? Lydia, the Italian lady? Was Lydia the Italian lady? I think Lydia was the one who made all the hot cross buns. But let's see if she was the one who did the traveling. Uh, no, the the lady who did these tiles, her name is Marlene Oddie. Marlene at kissedquilts.com. Kissed, Kissed, quilts.com. Inspiration tiles. Is that what you were asking, Allie? Sounds like a great resource, Janice. Janice says, no offense meant to anyone. It's just that Tanya McGuire sold sewing machines at one time and knows all that stuff. Well, I didn't take offense at that. I know Tanya knows a lot of the sewing stuff. Tanya's very knowledgeable about this. She's not here, though. She's sleeping. She's got a trip coming up. She streamed today, and she's got a trip coming up that she's getting ready for. I so appreciated her stream. Sounds like a great resource, Janet. I had no idea she used to sell sewing machines. Oh, yeah. Yeah, she used to, and she has all kinds of advice on that type of thing. And it's really good, too. Becky's really knowledgeable. I just rattle on and experiment and get myself into trouble and listen to you guys. I like the arts part of this. See, I love hand sewing. I do a lot of needlework, or I used to do a lot of needlework, but see, I love things like this. I love the art of this. I love the art of these thread spools. This, to me, this appeals to me. That's all I can say. Now, quilting, I like quilting, but I don't want to sit here and quilt. I don't want my masterboard, even though I love these diamonds, I don't want them to turn into a quilt. And so when I said I wanted to overlap some of it, and let's put this away because I'm getting away from my master quilt. I want to work on my masterboard. I want to overlap some of this. But how am I going to do that? See, I want it to go wonky. See, and I don't want to sew it. I guess I can, you know what I could do? And I'm going to town tomorrow. If I don't go tomorrow, I'm going to, I could put heat and bond on this. Or some of that, like the Pellon. I got some that I used when I did that fabric journal for the Defy auction. I could go ahead and put this stuff down and then, well, I don't know if I want to come back and try to put stuff in there. Or I could put it down and put another strand and get ready to put the heat and bond piece on there. Just put it right over that, and this could still be loose. Allie K says there's an Italian chef that is named Lydia. Oh, yeah. I wondered if she was the same person. As in this article, I don't think so. I know who you're talking about, that Italian chef. She used to be on the Food Channel, didn't she? I've seen her before. This lady is A Cup of Tea with Lydia. Lydia E. Harris. Does that make any difference to you? Would that be your Italian chef? I don't think she's Italian, though. I think you're getting this article and this article over here. She did not write the well, this wasn't Italian. This is Portugal. This lady was, let's see, she talks about this year, Easter falls on April 4th, but it can vary from March 26th to April 25th. How will you celebrate your traditions? Your traditions will create wonderful memories for seasons and generations to come. My husband and I have created many fun memories with our children and grandchildren over the years. We've colored eggs and had egg hunts. Our grandkids enjoyed searching for plastic eggs filled with candy and coins. It doesn't talk about her history. I was thinking that maybe she'd talk about her history. This is a different article. So she doesn't, her name is Lydia Harris, but I don't think she's Italian. This county register is published all over the United States. I used to get this when I lived in Wisconsin too, only it's a little bit thinner here. I don't know if they printing costs would publish your contact numbers across the United States and Canada for the county register. So Arizona, Arkansas, California, Colorado, Connecticut, Delaware, down to West Virginia, Wisconsin, Wyoming, and in Canada, Alberta, British Columbia, Manitoba, and Ontario. I'm just reading the contact numbers. And I get it when I go shopping at that quilt store, but I was seeing here that a subscription to it is, I think a subscription for a year is like $18. I was trying to see where I read that. Well, it's here someplace, the subscription rate. But I like it because I get it free. And I love the covers. Sometimes they have really neat art on these covers. And I'm going to put it in my art journal. All right, I'm still figuring out what I want to do here. Because I want to put this down. I want to just, and maybe I'll just do it like this, and then, you know, crazy kind of. I'm going to have different colors on my taped area, and then when I get ready to, if I overlap something like this, say I would want to overlap this piece on here, I would put that heat and bond or whatever Pellon type thing on this to hold it down. So I might layer some of this stuff just to, so, but I don't want a quilt. If it's going to look quilty, it's going to look like a crazy quilt. Because I don't want, I mean, I'm not going toward quilt. Not that there's anything wrong with quilt. It's just that I want more of a free design. Now this, I've already cut some off of this, so we're going to kind of fold that. And let's put this over here with my pieces. I want to get back to my cutting here, or I'll be here till 3 o'clock in the morning. Go, Mary, still on? What time is it? It's 10. It's a quarter till 11 here. Yep, Mary's still on. So do I want to go a little more free here? I'm trying to think how I want to, because I've done stripes. You know, you could go wavy and all of that. I don't know if I want to do that. See, I'm just not sure. And I need more, like I don't want to put a dark color on a similar color on the same color range on here because they blend in too much. I kind of like that in a way, but I want something that has a nice contrast. What's on the back? Again, it's brown. So here, let's get out this one. Let's get out this one. Where is it? It's got brown on one side. This just reminds me of Tanya McGuire all over the place. But I like this here. This reminds me of Barbone and Becky. Because of the mandalas. You know, and I could just cut around here and ignore this and just get out my scissors and cut these out, and the scraps will be scraps. Let's do that down this way. What do I have down? Oh, I don't have whole ones. Let's cut it here and here, and I'll get 3, and then if I decide to save these, I still have a lot. Mary's Mary's thinking. Oh, I guess you need your, this doesn't work so good to just freeform this, does it? Can I go back and forth? Okay, then I want to cut it. Well, we could actually cut it right in here. Get my ruler out on this one. Let's cut it right here. Right there. And I cut it with the blade being in. How dumb was that? How dumb was that? See what? Here. I didn't have the blade out and it still cut it. Ooh, that's scary. They go, does Mary know what she's doing? Not really. Mary likes learning. This is not a tutorial. I hate to tell you, this is not a tutorial. This is not, the only thing tutorial about these is making the masterboard. That I feel a little bit more confident in. Let's see, let's get my Timmy Holtz scissors out here. What's this is my, these, I think I can cut these. I'm going to cut some of these shapes out here. And then not only will I have, let's see how this cuts. I hate to tell you, this fabric does not cut very good. Let's try these. Maybe my scissors need to be cleaned. Let's try these. They're cleaner. Oh yeah. I guess I cut duct tape with this. I can feel it yucky in there. I got to clean those scissors. So let's do some fussy cutting, and I'll save all my scraps. So what I like about this is that I actually like how these lines tie these circles together. That just reminds me of Tanya. But when you cut something out like that, it kind of destroys the continuity, if you can call it that. Let's cut this a little better. So this is more what I'm going for here for now. And I'll save my scraps. What happened to the other one? What did I do with the other scrap here? Here. Was this? No. I'll find it in a minute. I guess that was just right there, wasn't it? It was still, I haven't cut it out yet. I'm talking to myself. Let's cut this. I'm going to cut these shapes out to use on my masterboard, but I won't do that to the entire tie. And the scrap that I was looking for can also go in the masterboard, just like that. And we'll just put her down there any old way, I guess. This is a I'm not thinking exercise. Except I end up thinking about my no thinking. There's a little piece there. This is going to take me a while. This is not a paint the paper thing and throw some stenciling on it. This is cut out my shapes, tear my ties apart, iron them out, figure out the different color ranges, talk about needles, think about how you're going to do this. This is why my projects take a while to complete. But I do like them in the end. See, I got stuff like that. That could go. This is where I think I need to get out that iron, I call it ironing stuff, like a Pellon or Heat and Bond. You know, I have some of that. I need to get out the iron. I have a whole bunch of it that I got at the thrift store. That's what I'll use, but not tonight. I won't even have to go to the store to get any. I just remembered I saw it. That was another case of I bought it. I didn't have a use for it when I bought it. Now, oh, I have some of that. We're going to save all my little scraps. I think I'm going to use the double-sided tape for the base. But I think when I start putting things down, like this would be kind of like my collage stuff, as you would think, like mark making. When I start putting stuff down like that, I'm going to use the Heat and Bond stuff, I think. So you guys can listen to me chatter away here. I should come out and look at chat again. I'll come out and look at chat as soon as I get these shapes cut out. I just totally enjoyed this hop. And to tell you the truth, there was not a lot of chat in our group about this hop. And when I started out this morning, I go, gosh, I hope everybody remembered it. Not only did they remember it, they aced it. They aced it. Everybody did a wonderful job on it. So I guess everybody was thinking about it, knew what they were going to do. Why isn't that cutting? But the other way to look at that is if there's a lot of chat, maybe it was clearer. When there's not a lot of chat, maybe everybody understands it. And when there's a lot of chat, people are asking a lot of questions. That could indicate that. You know what I'm saying? This is a polyester fabric that I'm cutting here. I know this is, I can feel it. I can even see the weave on it. Oh, and Beth, just cutting this little circle reminds me of, Beth was showing her mark making tools. And she was showing the pop can lid. And she was noting, well, actually, I think it came off of a beer can, a beer bottle, but it was fluted around the edge, like a pie plate. And she was liking all those little fluty areas, if you can call it that. And as I'm cutting this, well, it's not a beautiful circle, but it's got little fluted areas here. Let me shape this up a little. That's better. So I'm kind of liking them separate like that. Almost reminds me of a galaxy. Let's do galaxy art. Create our own world masterboard out of silk ties, or fabric ties might be a better appropriate name for these because they're not all silk. Yeah, let's snip this. I'm going to cut this little, you know, these little ones might, these scissors need to be clean, but I've got these smaller. I've got the whole set of Tim Holtz scissors now. These are easier to fussy cut with. Yeah, Deborah Brown sent me these larger ones, and I do like them. And these are old ones that I I cut my duct tape with this, but I also cut my paint bottles. And these I was using, but I used them and I can see they're sticky. They need to be cleaned. All right. So I'm going to save my scrappies. You know, there should be a, rather than the heat and bond, because if I put that heat and bond on there, if I put heat and bond on there, I'm still going to have to fussy cut that out. I wish that there was something that I could put on here that I could iron on, but I could paint it on first, paint it on, and then turn it over and iron it. But still, I'm not thinking a collage medium. I might have to end up collaging these down shapes like this. If I use heat and bond on these, I'm just going to have to fussy cut them all out again. So I think I'm going to stop. Just thinking my head through this. I could put the heat and bond, be a lot easier to put that heat and bond, whatever I'm calling it, heat and bond, on a flat piece like this and fussy cut it all out at once, rather than cut it out, put the heat and bond on it, and then cut the heat and bond out. So I'm going to stop. I got it straight in my head. Now, we're going to save these. We'll do those separately. I didn't say this was going to all happen tonight. I could put some of the other stuff down, just to put some stuff down. The same way with this. I'd like to be able to paint a heat and bond on there. I want some heat and bond paint. All right. Mary's just talking. We're going to save that. I'll probably end up collaging it down on something else. All right, let's see what's going on in chat. Double-sided tape. That would work, but I'd still have to, you know, it wouldn't. If I want it to be permanent, I'd still have to kind of arrange it around in there. And hi, Nancy. Put the heat and bond on it before you cut. Yeah, that's what I was saying. That's what I was saying. A strip like this, put heat and bond on this entire strip and then cut it out, rather than cut it out and then put heat and bond on it and then cut it out, the heat and bond again. Do it all at once. Nancy understood. Use Elmer's glue? Yeah. Oh, like a fabric glue. Yeah. Like a fabric glue. I have that textile medium. I need a fabric glue. Is there such a thing as fabric glue? Is there such a thing as a fabric glue? Put the heat and bond on it before you cut. Yeah. Yep, that's what I was talking about. Is there such a thing as a fabric glue? Am I missing? I don't know. I'm not that into fabrics. That is really flexible. I guess your Mod Podge might have something that's fabric, that has fabric tack. Yeah, I got a little bottle of fabric tack at the thrift store the other day. They sell fabric glue. There is a fabric glue. Other than fabric tack, what's the name of it? Somebody give me a link, all you smarties out there. All right, let's go to, let's see, let me think. These are going to be collage. We kind of decided that. These few are going to be collage. I got this far on it. I'm happy with that. I might even do the rest of them. We'll see. And there's some more here. These are going to be done heat and bond style across. This will probably be fabric glued on. You guys aren't giving me, there's fabric tacks and fabric fix. They sell a fabric glue. Fabric Tack is a brand. There are probably others. Yeah, I know about Fabric Tack. Ami says it's fabric or fabric fix. Fabric Tack or fabric fix are the same thing. But you can also use Elmer's white glue and iron on your project. I didn't know you could use Elmer's. Eileen's has Fabric Fusion. Aileen, I'll bet I can get that at Walmart too, can I? See, that's what I think I'd like on some odd piece like this. After I've already fussy cut, I'd like to just take my brush and brush it on and do the artsy thing and collage it down. All right, well, we'll look for some of that. I'm learning. Let's cut out some more. This is just awfully pretty stuff. Shall I follow the pattern on some of this? The squiggly pattern here. I love how this is almost, it's pretty small, but it's almost like a floral. I could start down in here. I'd like the idea of doing something like that, but not on the biggest pieces. See the shapes of these? And this would be another case where I probably need to put the fabric, because I have that at hand, where I put this fabric fusion. Oh, let me get it here. Just let me get it. I don't know what it's not in a package. I just picked it up at the thrift store. Let me go over here and get it. It's in my sewing box. Let me show you my sewing box while we're at it. It's not really a sewing box. It's where I put everything that relates to sewing and fabric. Here it comes. Here it comes. Are you ready for this? You know, I'm very disappointed that Hobby Lobby doesn't sell this type of box anymore. They sell smaller ones, but I couldn't find any this big. This is what I'm talking about. Fusible interfacing. This is cotton here. This type of stuff. I think this is fusible interfacing, which probably is only sticky on one side. I'd have to test to see if it's only sticky on one side. But see, there's three. I got 3 big deals of it here for, well, I paid $3 a piece. But I have to test this and see if it's, I think it's probably glued on both sides because they have the paper there. You press it, you put it on your piece and press it, remove the paper, and then put the fabric over it and press the fabric over that. I'd have to test. You want to see what else is in here? Maybe I'll find something. I got all this gold ribbon stuff. I don't know where I got that. Some thrift stuff. Christmassy, roughly Christmas stuff. Got it from someplace. I got seam binding. All the seam binding I picked up at the thrift store. Seam binding, seam binding. Look at these buttons. I picked these up at that antique store. I got them while the getting was good. I think they took the price off of them. $2 or $3 for this. I didn't pay big money for these. Well, here's some heat and bond. I could use some of this on it. This is for like the strips. I could use that on the strips. Let's keep that out too. This is just plain fabric, cotton fabric. This is not anything. We could paint on that almost, use it as lining. So I got those. We've got all this rickrack and all this stuff I get at the thrift store. I don't buy all this stuff. New. I buy it all used. I buy it all used. Whole bunches of it, because I'll use it. I think I was thinking tassels out of some of this. Now here's some more. This is what I use, steam and seam. This is what I use to put together the, and I know this works good. This is an unopened package of it. This is what I used when I made that fabric album, hanky album for the Defy auction. This works good. So I don't know if I want to use it on my masterboard because it's pretty expensive stuff. I think I'm going to try using that other that I got for $3 a roll. And this is just tissue paper. Are you enjoying this trip through my box here? Sewing paraphernalia. I got this at the thrift store. I think I paid $6 for this package. Vintage sewing, rickrack and buttons, vintage button cards, and there's a vintage sewing box in here. Mending silk, J.P. Coates mending silk assortment. I don't think there's anything in there. I think that's just the box. I could be wrong though. No, I think it's empty. I think all the sewing silk is gone. Let's open it. Oh no, it's in there. Oh my goodness, I didn't know that. So if you need any vintage sewing silk, it's vintage, it's J.P. Coates. It feels vintage, it feels antique-y almost. I don't see a date. 2-ply, article number 87, J.P. Coates, 10 balls, 4 yards each. 2-ply. There's no date to date it. I'll bet you could research it with J.P. Coates. Is J.P. Coates even a thing anymore? I don't even know if they're in business. DMC is in business. J.P. Coates might be. I've just lost all touch with that stuff. Here's some more. I think this Annie V sent me this. She sent me some ceramic dolls, and when I was doing Papa Pierre, she sent that to me, and I took the doll out because I didn't want it to get broken. But this was to go for Papa Pierre. That came from Annie V. Here's some, I might have gotten this from Pearl. I don't know where I got this. This is more teeny bopper fabric. I call it teeny bopper. It's more pretty ladies. Reserved pattern. Paris girls. Paris girls. I think of young teens when I look at this. I call it teeny bopper. I think I got these things from Pearl, because I think this came from Pearl too, if I remember right. Isn't this pretty? Isn't that pretty? Crochet piece. I think it was the top of somebody was making a top. I bought it. I thought it'll make a nice art journal cover. Metallic thread, thrift store. This probably, I know this came from the thrift store, and I love the kind of the gingham effect on this. It's cotton. It looks like it almost looks colonial in its own way. $1.50 for 1.5 yards. Here's what I'm talking about, unfinished needlework. Now, I think I got this from the Defy, if I remember right, and it was, I think there was an embroidery hoop in this, and it's over across the room, if I remember right. And I bought it because of all the ribbon and lace and everything in there. But I think somebody had started this, and this will make a nice, if I remember right, I can't remember. That might have been another piece that I got. But this will make a nice design, like when I made that ornament. And these I got at the thrift store. I got these when I lived in Wisconsin. Because what I was going to do, I have some generational photos. I brought these home with me special, of my great-grandmother, my grandmother, my mother, and myself.
And I could even do one of my oldest sister who's passed away. Well, they've all passed away now, except for me. But I was going to do generational photos on these. Oh, I got another one here. I got 3 big ones. And I've been hoarding these. Lace inserts. 75 cents for these smaller ones. 75 cents for the smaller ones and $1 for the larger ones. I was going to put photos on there. Here's a hanky. I forgot I had this. I might save this out. Don't ask me. It's just a kind of like a weird design in the center. It's a men's hanky, I guess. Here's some. And I either got this from Defy or Pearl, because these are robots. I got this from somebody. Robots. I don't know where I got it, but I got a nice little yard of it. Some of this came from Pearl's, and some of it came from the Defy, but I think this came from Pearl, just looking at this bag. I think this came from Pearl. A gift for you. But I think she had put fabric pieces in there. Pearl Brown. This I think I either got at Walmart or Hobby Lobby. It's a spring fabric. No, more of a fall fabric, more fall colors. Now I tucked it in there. I was going to do something with it. Now this could go on a masterboard. I think I was thinking more mark making with it. This is a plastic doily. Here's a piece I know I got at the thrift store because of the tag. It's a cut work piece with a pretty little lace in there. That could almost go on the masterboard. That's supposed to be, I think, a collar, like on the back of something. And what else do I have in here? See, I'm all off track. Here's some ruffled ribbon. Some brown fabric. What's this? I think this probably came from Pearl. This is a toile fabric. And if it didn't come from Pearl, it came from one of the auctions. Here's some more of that. This is called Shape Flex Stitch Witchery. All-purpose gives necessary body and shape to knitted and woven fabrics. Save time and stitches with this fusible woven interfacing. So it says it's fusible, cut, trim, and fuse. So I might save this out. This might be exactly what I want. It feels better. It feels more flexible than these others. I'm not sure that these others are fusible on both sides. I'll have to play with those. Some doilies. I could put these on a masterboard. I might save those out. These are again thrift store. $1. I don't pay big things for big amounts of money for this. $1. I might put those on there. More fabric. That's thrift store. I can tell by the packaging. Here's some eyelash yarn. I forgot I had that. See, the good thing I go through this. Here's some 50-cent thrift store little beads. What else does Mary have in here? It helps to go through all of this. Here's some corded trim, craft trim. And stitch and sew nylon lycra trim strip. This almost feels like shoulder pads. Trim strips. What are trim strips? Oh, they're strips. You know what? They almost feel like they're padded. It almost feels like it's a stuffed heart. It's just strips of, ooh, we might stain this out and put it on my masterboard. It's strips, like binding. Let's save that out. Mary's exploring here. I'm not paying attention to you guys. I like this fabric. I like this, appeals to me. Again, like that red denim does. This almost, to me, says colonial. And, yeah, it's just got I was thinking it was stitched, but it's just creased in there. This, to me, says almost, well, vintage for sure. Colonial might be another thing. It's a little flowery for colonial. But here's some more steam and seam of applique sheets. I forgot I even had this stuff. Free sample used in your next creative project. Temporarily adheres to material before ironing. Iron only once for a permanent bond. No sewing required. But it looks dark. Steam and seam, double stick fusible web. It doesn't even look like it's been opened. But it really looks like a dark fabric, doesn't it? That just might be the, Well, I'm going to put it back and use the other stuff. What else do I have in here while I'm down in here looking? I got some frog closures, some more of this binding. Some of this stuff I got in a big bag of it. A big plastic bag. They had it all stuffed in one bag. Like that. And I think that's all of this here. And I just put it in there. Here's some more. This come out at Christmas. That's Christmas stuff. So that's what all that is. Here's some more of that eyelash stuff that... Alrighty, I think... Here's some yellow fabric. I think that's about it in here. I'm glad I went through that because I was going to go buy some more of this. I was going to buy some of this, but I got it right here. This is what I want. Stitch Witchery. That's not cheap stuff. And I'm going to keep this. I'm not ready to use that. I'm going to keep my doilies out. I'm going to keep the strips out here. Tissue paper. See, I think this is one of the bags, some of the bag stuff that those seam bindings came in. Here's that white cotton fabric. Here's that. And we'll save this for another day. We'll save that for another day. We'll save this for another day. And this, and this, and these. These are my treasures. I just love these. Lace insets. See, if you're supposed to put them on shirts. But I was going to put photographs in there. And put them in a scrapbook. That was my thought when I got it. I was going to do I have my great-grandmother, my grandmother, my mother, my older sister, and myself. I could almost put my little grandniece in there too. Because I got enough. Great-grandmother, grandmother, mother, older sister, myself, and my grandniece. It would fit. Grandniece is not really in the, well, she's kind of in the family. I mean, she's in the family, but she's not, she's my nephew's daughter. She would fit. I love these buttons. This is my treasure. This is my sewing box. Buttons. And these I'm going to have to test out another time. Heat and bond. I might save this out and see how it works. I don't know if this stuff gets old and loses its heat, its bond. I don't know. I don't know about all that stuff. But it was fun to go through, wasn't it? This is what Mary does. She goes on rabbit trails. But I looked in Hobby Lobby Now, Michael's might still sell this size box. Michael's used to have these on sale. But Hobby Lobby used to too, and Joann's used to. Hobby Lobby only has the smaller ones now, because I looked for them. Oh, well. All right. Mary's gone down a rabbit hole. Let me put this aside. I'm glad I went down that rabbit hole, though, because that saved me some money. Thrift store shopping saves you money. I'm not going to get out the iron tonight, though, or this morning. Let me put all this stuff back. It's on my brother's recliner. He'll wake up and throw it on the floor. There we go. Alrighty. So I'm back to what kind of shapes do I want to make here? I think I'm being too picky. I think I'm doing too picky. I said I didn't want to do that tie. I think these fell on the floor. I think these need to go in my bag. Because this is a dark brown one. Let me fold this up. I spent all afternoon on these stupid ties. All afternoon taking them apart and ironing them. There must be close to 10 or 12 of them. And I got a whole bag of them. 4 bags of them. All right, we'll put this in Becky's bag over here. You guys must be bored stiff. I'm going to look at chat here in a minute. Mary, what did you put in your project bag? Ties. Fabric ties. Silk ties and fabric ties. All right. So what I was thinking, and that's what led me down the rabbit hole there. Before I cut this, though, I'm going to have to cut shape flex all purpose with grain arrow on the pattern following lengthwise grain of interfacing. This is a woven interfacing. Trim away to 1/4 seam, so they're saying to put it with the grain. Well, this is cut on the bias. So can I put it against the bias? I mean, can I put it on the bias against the grain? I think I can for what I'm doing, because this is going to lay flat anyway. Trim, and then place coated side of fabric flex to wrong side of fashion fabric. Press with a dry iron on wool. So your iron setting is on wool for 10 seconds. Do not slide the iron. So this is my iron. They want you to, like that. They don't want you to. So I am wanting to cut out some little shapes here. But I think I'm going to have to put this on here first. So that's that. Mary, I didn't say I had all this figured out ahead of time. See, and I've got these. Now these I could actually put down. These strips I could put, because I got double-sided tape here. I need to start putting something down. Here's the other. Let's save those out. Here's the other doily. These might go on there someplace. So I'm thinking diamond again. Oh, diamond. Where's my other diamonds?
I buried them. I buried my other diamonds. Where are they? I like the idea. Wait, I only cut 2 or 3 of them. See, that says quilty to me, but it's quilty in a different way. So if I had a fabric on under this, such as something like this beautiful piece here, like that, and like that, and I could use some of that fabric tack that I got at the thrift store. I got the label there to attach the doily, just, or Elmer's glue, Ami says, and attach the doily down there. And then I could come with my other diamonds and dance around it. I kind of like the idea of doing that. And it's kind of crazy quilty in a way, but also it can be kind of like a masterboard in a way too. A crazy quilt masterboard. Where's my other little cutouts? See, I could do stuff like this. Now I'm getting creative with it. And just kind of keep going with it. All right. So, let's do something constructive, like take the price tag off of this. What time is it? I don't want to be up all night. It's 11:27. And it doesn't bother me. Stuff like this doesn't bother me for this, because this is just this is an art piece. This is not a quilt. But I do want to take the label off. The label here says Murano, Italia. So this is that Italian one. I had 2 of them from Italy. I think my gold one, was it my gold one was from Italy? I read off the tag when I undid it in my earlier stream. And I'm going to save all the little tags. Yep, I'll be working on this for a while. This will be an ongoing project, just like my project bags, just like my art journals, like my caboodle journals. Everything in my life is ongoing, like my Happy Meal. All right, but I do have a concept of what I want to do here. I want this piece to go. I want this to go on here. I do like that, and that will take up quite a bit of space. I like that a lot. So let me get my ruler out here, and we're going to cut this here and there. And see, I've got a hole in there where did I lose you guys? It's only a quilt if you like to use it to cover up with. Thank you, Allie K. That's right. If you cover up with it, it's a quilt. Otherwise, it's a piece of art. It's a masterboard. See, I was intending to put like the photographs and make tags out of what I do for photocopies. And I am intending to make photocopies of this. So this is kind of like a fabric masterboard thing. And what I make out of it will be photocopies. I'll probably take it to the library because they do nice printing there. I like what I get there at the library. Except I haven't been able to go there lately because of the restrictions. Okay. So I need this to come up this way. Yes.
This doesn't, there. I have to learn how to use this cutter. You guys are probably going, oh, geez. But I have to tell you guys, when I first started cutting, scrapbooking, my very first scrapbook class that I went to, I had never seen a paper trimmer before. Never used one. And I was in my 30s. I didn't know how the thing worked. The poor lady that helped me, this did not cut. Why didn't that cut? I got the blade out. It did not cut it at all. Maybe let's try this again. Like I said, when I first started scrapbooking, I'd never used a trimmer before. I had to ask how to use a trimmer. So if you ever feel stupid, just remember Meri Abrams. All right, let's try this again. What did I do wrong? I did something wrong. I must not have had that blade up. If you ever feel stupid, just remember Meri Abrams and you won't feel so stupid. All right, so I want this to go in here like this, and I don't mind this stuff. I don't mind that at all. I might have to press it out a little bit more. So I'm going to cut this one right here. All right. You guys have taught me well. And if I don't lock it, it retracts by itself here, Emmy is saying. So then that black piece is out. The blade is not sharp. It's only sharp when you have it out and locked. And I'm not locking it. All right, this I like. And I like the concept of these little 3-inch triangles going around. So I might cut me some more 3-inch triangles. Let's set this here. Let's organize this again. These are my triangles. These are my circles. And half circles. And little circles. And this is a scrap. And this is a scrap. And that's a circle and a scrap. And these are circles to be. They'll go with the circles. And these are strips. So I could put the strips in here too. I kind of like the idea. And that's my scissors thing. Here's another square. And these are odds. So I think I'm getting there. I think I'm going the way I want to go just by putting this stuff out. Now, I won't have black all around in there, but see, I kind of like that. And then I could have something like a circle like this. Something like that in here. This is a red one though, in the center here. Maybe even a smaller one. Or a photograph. Leave it like that. And then when you think, let's get a piece of paper out here. Mary knows what she's talking about. Yeah, right. Let's cut. I'm thinking ATC now, or even tag or card. Let me get a piece of paper here. Yeah. Let's just fold this one in half and cut this. We'll cut it with my old scissors. See how that gums up? The scissor is all gummy from cutting that duct tape. And when you go to cut stuff like that on paper and stuff, it's gummy. This is just scrap. Okay, so we're gonna fold this like this, and we're just going to. I'm just making a little viewer. We're just gonna cut a sort of a rectangle out of here. Now, what I'm saying is, well, let's cut this one in half. These scissors need to be cleaned. These especially, these are the ones I use to cut pop bottles and, paint bottles and stuff. All right, and let's make another little, only not make it so deep, maybe wider than deeper, something like that. All right, so say this is my masterboard here. When I go to make ATCs, just visualize I could have that much, or I might want to do an art card off of, say this is the printed paper, my art card might come in there, and I might put a, say that's print paper, not fabric there. I might come in with a photo and put a journal spot and a button and make a card out of it. That's the purpose of a masterboard. And this is a little smaller than an ATC, but it could be a little tag, you know, and you could have a small picture or a embellishment or something on there. Ooh, I love this lady. I love this picture. It is so cool. It needs more room on here, but so that's kind of where I'm going with this. So even though you see all of this as a big square, once you cut that stuff down, just like you do any piece, once you cut it down, and I'm not going to cut down the actual piece, I'm going to print the paper and cut down the paper. But then you get the different shapes and the different textures coming through. So I think I'm liking the way this is heading with all my yakking. I'm going to come out and chat. I've been yakking. Let's come out and chat. You guys have educated me on needles and cutting tools. Thank you so much. What else is going on in here? I'm surprised I got 33 of you still in here. Allie K says she's nodding off. She's going to bed. Good night, Allie K. Sweet dreams. Yeah, it is starting to look great, isn't it? Press down harder. Yeah, I don't think I had the blade out fully out here. I think I needed to retract that blade further. I don't think I had it clear down. I'm still learning to use this thing. Good night, Allie K. Never mind, you answered my question, Allie K says. Michael still sells the bigger boxes, Rhonda says. Also, I have seen them at Marshall's and TJ Maxx. See, I don't have either one. Do we have a TJ Maxx? No, we have a home goods store. We do not have TJ Maxx. We do not have a Marshall's. We don't have a Michael's. We've got a Hobby Lobby and a Walmart. They just put in, about a year ago, the home goods store. Home Goods might have those size boxes. I don't know. I don't go in there very much because I spend too much money. I spend all my money over at Hobby Lobby. Let's see. Mary is finding all sorts of treasures. Yeah. Angie went to sleep. Sweet dreams, Angie. Aileen's permanent fabric adhesive fusion. Permanent fabric adhesion. Permanent fabric adhesion fusion remains flexible. Let me read. It's getting late. Aileen's permanent fabric adhesive fusion remains flexible for your fabric if you don't want to sew. That's what I'm going to look for, Rhonda. Aileen's permanent fabric adhesive fusion. They might have that at Walmart. I get it on Amazon. Ami said she's going to bed. I'm talking y'all to sleep. Probably see you tomorrow at some point at Care Sale. Have a wonderful day. Angie says, love it. How adorable is that? It's so cool, vintage. I think that was when I was showing that box. Mary, here are the names of glues. Angie says, No Sew Fabric Glue, Fabric Fusion. Rhonda says, I remember when Mary found those buttons. Yes, that was a couple years ago, wasn't it, Rhonda? If you're still here. I did a, on my birthday, I went to this antique store and I filmed, and I found all those buttons on cardboard in that tub. And I don't know if I filmed that then or if I filmed it a week or so later. I can't remember. I went back. But anyway, about a couple months ago, I went into that store, and the store owner remembered me as the lady who made the video. Oh. That's an important thing to learn. Glues, at least I think. Okay. Allie true, Rhonda. Fabric glue would be in place of sewing. Elmer's glue has a better hold for paper, and wood fabric glue is formulated, and wood. Okay, Elmer's glue is better hold for paper and wood. Fabric glue is formulated for fabrics because fabrics need to be more flexible, I think is what Rhonda is saying. If you're going to sew, regular glue would work to just tack it down. I'm not going to sew on this. I'm going to put this on paper eventually. Whoops. I'm going to put it on watercolor paper. That's where all this is going. But the reason I'm asking about the glue is because I'll have odd pieces like this that are going to be awfully hard. And they're pieces I've already cut out of. And it's going to be hard to, I'd have to fussy cut. I'd have to put this down on fusible webbing and then cut it out again. Then I'd have odd pieces of fusible webbing. What I needed to do, and what Nancy said I should do, and what I was heading that way, was to take a piece that says it has a shape here that I want, like this. Ooh, I like that. I like that. Say that was part of the fabric, and I just wanted that. Well, instead of cutting it out and putting the webbing on it, and then having to cut it out of the webbing, put it on this and or say this was a part of it, put the webbing on the whole piece, and then cut it out of the webbing, and then you'd have webbing on this to use. I got it. I understand that part. I just had to do some fussy cutting. What else is going on? I told you guys I stay up late. This is the... But see, now that I put these papers in here, I'm really liking the way this is heading. You just have to, you could even, cut shapes out like that of your paper. I'm really liking the way this is heading off into. Okay, you guys told me about the glues and the trimmer and the needles. See? I'm glad I streamed tonight. All right, we're back to where I last... Janice went to bed. She says, I need to go to bed. Good night, everybody. Yeah, it was a few years back, Rhonda, when I got those buttons. Yeah, I still have, well, now there's 31 in here, but they could be falling asleep, Rhonda. You and I might, and well, Allie K went, I think Allie K went to bed, but you and I are the only ones chatting. I think everybody else is nodding off. They probably left it on for me. All right, let's open this now that I'm playing here. I think I'm heading the right direction. I'll say, see, this is ephemera. This is ephemera. We were talking, Ann Lahr was saying, do you guys save ephemera? Make your own ephemera. This is ephemera in my life. Thrift store ephemera. Let's take even the 25-cent and the $3 tags here, or the dollar tag. This is $1. This is ephemera. You could certainly photocopy both of those and use it as ephemera in your artwork. Is there another? Now, let's get these staples out.
So maybe I'll start me an ephemera folder because I really liked what Anne asked. She says, "Do you guys make your own ephemera?" Anne did an excellent job of streaming tonight. I so enjoyed it, and I was so proud of her for stepping up and taking over for Shelley. Shelley would have come, but she was being rained on. She was being rained on. The storm there in Hawaii was not letting her upload. And she'd asked me earlier if she could do a premiere, which is where you make your video first, then you upload it, and then you can chat while your video's playing. Okay, this says it's trim strips. And all this is 2 inches of, ooh, this would make wonderful washi tape. Look at this. Ooh, and this has, and it's cut on the bias. Look how stretchy that is. That tells me it's cut on the bias. Look at that. But this would make wonderful washi tape, wouldn't it? Well, some of it's going to go on my, so let's just cut a couple of strips about the length of my, and I'm just guesstimating, going over some humps here. Let's cut about 3, maybe 4 of these, about this length. I like the idea, and then if I want to cut these up further, I will, but I'll save these out. See, these are something I could put down first. I like the idea of doing that. So I think I'll do 4 of them. Ooh, I love how stretchy it is. It must be, is it a knit? It doesn't say that it's a knit. It says it's a stretch and sew. It's lycra, nylon lycra. 2 inches wide by 6 yards long. Stretch and sew. Eugene, Oregon. And Person Collectibles. I got it for 25 cents. 6 yards for 25 cents. What a deal. What a deal. It's going on my masterboard. I love the color of it. Did I ever tell you guys that my mother's wedding dress was coral? This is more of a deeper red coral. This is a red. It's not a, yeah, I guess you could call it red. It reminds, my mother's wedding dress was coral. She was married in 1944, and she didn't have a gown, but she had this beautiful, I guess in that age, it could have been considered a travel dress, you know, after the wedding, where they would travel, like get on a train to go to the honeymoon or whatever. But it was what my mother wore when she got married. And she was a tiny person. She was tiny. This feels like, when I first saw it in this bag, it felt like it was stuffed. Like it was a bean bag or something. It's just the way that it feels when it's all put together. All right, that'll probably go back in my box. I love it though. So I got this, and I've got these. Let's see what else I want to do here. I'm not ready to quit yet. Hi, Christine. Mary, do you still have her wedding dress? Yes, I do. And it's up in Wisconsin. I did not bring it home with me. See, I really do want to get to Wisconsin and bring some of that stuff home, but I do have it. Her wedding dress. It's got, on the collar, it's got silver sequins on both collars. It's really pretty. It's really pretty. And she was, my mother had dark hair. My hair was brown when I was young, but my mother's hair was black. And my mother, she never saw herself as being a pretty lady, but she was pretty. My dad had good taste. My mother was a pretty lady, and she was petite. I'm not petite. I take after my dad. Yeah, I got my mother's looks and my dad's build. What a deal. But I'm happy. I'm okay. But um, I would have loved to see my mother when she was 25, 20. I hope that you will be able to get all your things and move it down to where you are soon. I would think maybe in the next year or so. I'm kind of saving up because I don't know. It may take. I don't want to ask my nephew. He's more than able, but willing is another story. And my older brother, I think my older brother is willing, but he's getting older and I don't really want to ask him. So I might have to hire some movers to help me bring it down here. And then I have to have a place to put it once I get it down here. And so I'm still sorting, and then I have to save up my own money to do it. But I do want to get it down. I'm hoping in the next year or so I can get it down here. And then after I get it all down here, I'll probably have to go through. And there are some things that mean a lot to me, like my mother's wedding dress. But there are other things, like things I got at the garage sale. Like I used to have a swan connection when swans were a big thing in the late 90s. Swan planters. I go to these garage sales and get these. I was sold on these swan planters. I love my swan planters. I must have about 15 or 20 of them in a collection. I don't need 20 swan planters anymore. So there are some things that I'll probably donate, probably end up giving that stuff away because I doubt that I could get much money for it. And I don't mind. I enjoyed it while I had it. But I'd want to sort it out. That's the thing. It's nothing that I can, like Allie Kay says, you should send somebody to pick up your stuff. And I'm going, yeah, but they'd have to hunt for it. And it's something where I'm going to have to go and get it and sort it out. Get rid of things that don't mean as much to me, like those swan planters, and keep the things that really mean a lot to me. Because I'm getting older. I'm not going to be able to take it with me, but I'd like to enjoy it for a few more years. Yeah, there are some storage places. I'm not sure I'm not sure how available they are, for one thing. I've never really, there's one here, local, in this little town. And I've driven by it, but it looks all locked up. So it may be all occupied. So there are storage places around here. And the other thing I'm concerned about is how dry are they? How safe are they? I'm really, I'm very, very comfortable with where my things are stored up there in Madison. I like the facility. I like the people that are running it. So, and I don't mind paying for something that I like. So right now I'm just leaving it there. Mary, I'm thinking of coming to your state fair. Is it nice? In Grand Island? Our state fair is in Grand Island. That's where I go up to Hobby Lobby. Is it nice? Well, last year, because of the virus thing, they had to cut it way back. Last year, I think they mostly just had the 4-H shows and that type of thing for the family. Yeah, Grand Island. Grand Island is where we have our state fair. Nice. Depending on what you consider nice. I went to the state fair after I came down here one year by myself, and I enjoyed it. I enjoyed seeing all the quilts. Did they let me take pictures? I can't remember. I think I took a couple pictures. I didn't go to all the exhibits because I was by myself. They have a midway. Gosh, Rhonda, if you come down, let me know. Is it big? I think it depends on what day you go. It's mostly big in terms of people the first 3 or 4 days, and then, you know, it's only a week. The state fair is about, what, 7 days, something like that. And Grand Island itself, the town, they moved it. See, it used to be, they used to have the state fair up in Lincoln, and the state fairgrounds used to be adjacent to the campus area, the University of Nebraska. And it got really congested. They'd have the state fair, the Nebraska Stadium where they had all the football games and all of that, and the Nebraska campus was all kind of on the north side of Lincoln. Here's downtown Lincoln, and all of that was kind of located here. East Campus was out there. I can't remember if the state fair was city campus or East Campus, but it was adjacent to one of the campuses. And while I was gone, it used to be when I went to school at the university, the state fair used to be located in Lincoln, one of those, adjacent to one of those campuses. I truthfully can't remember. But while I moved away and worked and all of that, when I came back home, I was going to go to the state fair up in Lincoln. My brother says, it's not in Lincoln anymore, it's in Grand Island. So if you're asking if it's big population-wise, the town itself, Grand Island itself, is not huge like Lincoln. I would say maybe 45 to 50,000, maybe around 45,000 people. Let's see. I will let you know for sure. We might do that. Yard sale. Oh, that huge yard sale. Yeah, that is in September. I think the state fair might be, how long are you going to come down here? That yard sale is around like the 23rd of September, up around the last weekend in September. I think the state fair traditionally, I'd have to look at the dates to be sure, but the state fair is a little bit earlier in the year, so it depends on how long you're going to be down here. That huge guard sale would be fun to go to, wouldn't it? Yeah, that would be fun. We'll have to talk about it, Rhonda. We'll have to look up the dates. And your husband heard about the big garage sale? You will pick one to do. Okay. I have to tell you, the huge garage sale, you'll probably run into less congestion because it's 300 miles. The state fair, because it's concentrated in one area, you'll probably run into more people. Although in Grand Island, it isn't good. If you're from Michigan, you're used to all of the traffic and everything. It won't be as congested as maybe a larger city is. Grand Island is a nice small city. And I said around 45,000 people. I would have to make sure. They do have the Central Community College there, but there's no big university or anything up there. Okay, we'll have to talk about it. That would be fun. I'd enjoy that. Either one I would enjoy. Of course, your husband's going to drive you down here. Oh, yeah. It all depends on that. Yeah. Don't get me started. All right. If I want to get started on something, I do feel like I want to do a little bit more because I haven't even touched my gold fabric yet. I've got this. Let me pull it out. And Rhonda, if you need to go to bed, don't stay up for just me. Now, I'll probably only be here about an hour more. This is the back of this gold tie. And you know, I'm almost liking, I don't want to do this every place. Well, no, this is, look, let me cut the, more ephemera. I guess I'm going to start me an ephemera bag because Ann Laura has me thinking about ephemera now. There's a dollar tag. This would look nicer on a dark piece like
Where's that piece I cut and saved? Underneath here. This would look nicer on this other piece of blue here, wouldn't it? Ooh, let's just kind of arrange this. But I would want this on one side and this on the other side. I wouldn't want them close together. So let's just put this like this for now. And that's probably all I do doily wise. But what I like, I don't know what I did with my, what I like is this isn't going to be one piece that makes sense. This is going to be one piece that little pieces will make sense. You know, I could even have this like this and something coming across, you know, have a piece under here to say that's a colored piece, you know, and you could just have something like that. So I think I'm liking where this is going. I'm going to leave that. I'm going to leave these. These are my squares. Now I need something white for these to show up on, although they could look nice on these strips. So maybe I'll cut some more 3-inch squares. Maybe I'll need, yeah, let's do that next. Mary's thinking here. I'm just going to put all this up here. It's going to wind up on my masterboard. I think I can get some, shall I do 3-inch strips out of this? Maybe not that, but down here. I think I can get 3-inch strips out of this. I think I can. Let's cut a piece this way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. this way, I guess. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, and I'll trim this off. Let's pull it this way a little. And there's 1, 2, 3. This will work. Let's cut some 3-inch strips out of this. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Right here. Okay, measure 10 times, cut once. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. I'm good. My blade is out. My hands are cutting away from me. I pressed hard. And you know what I love about this is this. I love the reverse of this. And I could maybe even press that out a little bit more and use this. I love that. And see, here's another instance where they pieced it, 3 pieces together, but they at least tried to match it up. They did a fair job of it, not quite. It's probably hard to match up on the bias. All right. So I cut there. I want to cut this. Let's turn it this way. For all of you out there who are watching, if you need to go to bed, I understand. It's getting late here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I thought I saw Sharon Marlowe come into one of the streams. Are you out there, Sharon? I thought I saw her. And I think she said hello, and I was going to say hi, and I got sidetracked. All right. So now I want to cut 3 inches. That can almost be the straight edge. I need room. I need room. It's sort of straight. I can make it straight like that. All right. And then 1, 2, 3. I'm going to cut it there. Hopefully that's straight enough. And this is going to dance here. And that'll be a pretty strip. Oops, gotta hold my ruler tight. Oh, it's not going to be a perfect square. I moved my ruler. I got to get better at that. It'll be good enough, though. It will be good enough. It won't be a perfect quilter square. I love this gold color. All right, so there's that. There's this scrap. I think this part is a little wider over here. It's okay. All right, we're going to cut here. Cut there. That's pretty good. I love that. I'll probably end up using the reverse. I like the reverse better than I like the front. And this is about 1/4 of an inch too short. How did that happen? How did that happen? Mary did it. But it isn't going to matter on this. So tomorrow or the next day, whenever I have the free time, I have to take my phone in, but I'm going to put heat and bond or fusible webbing on these pieces, on the smaller pieces. All right, so I like those. I got 3 of those. Maybe some triangles. Maybe I'll cut some triangles too. I'm stuck on the shapes, I guess. I could do some leaf shapes. I could do some freeform stuff. I got the scraps for freeform. Let's fold this gold. I'm hoarding my gold tie here. I'm hoarding the gold tie. It's such a pretty fabric. Sharon was in here too. She was. You had that white fabric in your sewing box. Those doilies are so pretty. Yeah, they are. Yeah, I had that white fabric in the sewing box. Let's do something out of this. Did I already use this? No, I already used this. Let's fold my already used. I already used some of this. I do need a base fabric maybe other than the ties. I'm back down to the... Are those all of them? Did I use them all that I pulled out? I guess I did. Oh, I didn't use this because I was going to fuse it. I was going to fuse this before I cut it. That makes sense. I think I put the others over here. This, I guess I used everything I had out, but it seems like I need a base fabric. I sure do. I'm thinking, let's do this. Let's pull these off. These are everything I pulled out, and I used a little of each, which is what I wanted. But now let's. Mary's getting there, slowly but surely. Let's put some of these scissors away. I don't need these. I don't need these anymore for a while. Let's put that shape. Let's put this back on these. Trying to keep it. All right. And I might need those, and I don't need the little ones. All right, what I think I'll do, I have to think about base. Maybe, I'm wondering if I shouldn't get just a piece of cotton type fabric for the base. See what I have over there. And use these to go on top of the base. Let's take all these off. Well, not these off. Let's take that off. I'm not going to cut anymore right now. So what I'm thinking, this is my tape. I'm not going to take the tape off yet. I'm thinking here, maybe right at the top. I'm thinking stripes, but let's put them diagonal. Who says I have to put them that way? I love my diagonals. Except for I'm throwing everything on my diagonals here. So if I come this way, putting it on there, I'll have to have this pretty planned out, because once I pull this tape off, once you get it on there, it's on there. So if I come this way and this way, and I really only need about 3. Otherwise, it starts looking like a flag. 3 is enough. We'll save this for something else. Let's put that heat and bond over there. Then I was thinking a base like this on one side, and that could come underneath. It could almost be woven in there. And this could almost be woven. Let's pull that up a little. I need something under this. Under and over. And let's just get these things out here. I want to get this other piece. I'm thinking here. This is where I start thinking. And I want this one over here. I don't want them together. I want them separate. Now, I want things like these to come, and think that there's a base fabric under here. I think I'm going to have to find a base. I don't think I have anything silky. And I'm not sure I want to use this. I could use the ties. Let's just play with them. I don't have to use them just because I get them out. I'll probably use them and like them. All right, let's put that one there. Let's take this one and put it here. Is it right side up? Let's put it here. And the red. Now I need something here. Let's put the blue there just for the fun of it. This is where I was going when I first started, and I decided I didn't want big pieces, but I think I'm going to have to use big pieces. And we could put this red right here. And then come in with my fusible pieces here, like that. And let's go to some more. Let's go to some more stripes. What goes good with this red? That darker color, maybe. No. That comes over there. We need. Seems like I should have another one that I'm not showing. Here's the gold one. I cut that blue one up. I might have to get another one out. I got this one, the paisley one. I got the paisley. Maybe that paisley in here. Let's turn it this way, though. I think I'm liking this. I love the diagonals. I'm loving the diagonals. Let's see. So that goes there. I kind of cut this blue one short. I'm going to have to move it in and over a little and move this over this way a little more. Let's take these off for now. Let's get the base done. I could put the base on tonight. I could put the base on tonight, I think, or this morning. Oops. I have to make sure all my pieces are off here. There's my scissors. I use these. Rhonda says, Mary, if you're looking for fabric to buy, Pink Poodle Crafts channel sells a lot of fabric at her auctions at a really cheap price. Really? I'll have to check out her auctions. I don't think I've ever gone to one of her auctions. I see them, but I'm so stuck on Pearl. Pearl, I'm stuck on Pearl. And who's the other one? Keisha. I go to Keisha's auctions and Pearls. I'll have to try. Stacy is her name, right? Pink Poodle, Stacy. I'll have to try it. All right, there and there. I think I'm liking this. I think I'm going to go back to my. I think I'm going to go back to my original thought of putting these as base fabrics. Might as well use them. I have them. I might as well use them. I got all this gold. Let's use it. Pull it that way a little. And I think I'm going to have to get out another one though. Let's take this and put it back over here. Oops, did I bump the camera? I'm so sorry. And this is a pretty thin tie. I like that. Now I need something down here. Well, let's get out my, I don't think I got enough ties out. I put 2 of them back, didn't I? I'm liking this. I just had to go do it. And then I'll put all my extra pieces on there. Let's see, what did I put back? I put this red one back and this black one, or brownish one. The brownish one, well, they're both kind of, this one looks really nice. I like the red to interrupt, but it's awfully thick. Maybe just a piece of, I'll have that red stripe. Let's put this in here like that, and then this brown, let's put this brown. Now, I hate to use all that, but it's the only thing that's gonna fit. I kind of like that. What's showing here? Right there. I'm kind of liking that. I put all my blues away. It doesn't have any blues. It's red, golds, and browns. What do I have showing here? Oh, this is part of the paper up here. That cuts my board ends right there. So I have all that as base. Now, just for the fun of it, let's see. Ew, I don't like that, but I do like it there. For now. For now. I don't like this red with the gold, but I kind of like it over here with this blue. And I only really need 2 strips of it. And then I'm going to go to my, I threw them off, my squares and my doilies. Where's my doily? Here's a doily. And I don't want it to look like a doily though. Why are you using it if you don't want it to look like a doily? I don't know. Where's the other one? Oh, here's the other piece. I had this out. Do I want to use this? That's got all the medallions on it. I'm looking for my little pieces. I threw them all over here. Threw them all around. Threw all the stuff around. Let's just get it out. Throw it on here. See, I'm thinking though, what I wanted those. Here's a piece of lace that was just sitting here. Oh, and I did all my squares. Oh yeah, it looks like a mess now, Mary. Let's get those off. Oh, what I did with my squares. Mary's talking to herself. She's looking for her squares. I picked them up when I picked everything else up. Threw them over here. Here's one. Where did they run off to? Here's one of my medallions. See, I should be more careful when I do stuff. Here's one here. Here's one. So I got one. I had 3 of these and 3 of these. I'm missing 2. I'll find it and just keep sorting through. That's a little one. Mary's talking to herself. Oh, they're over here with this. It fell off to the side. Well, that's scrap. And scrap. And medallion. And my other piece. And here's another little medallion thing. And I'll bet you that other square ran off. There's a gold piece. All right. All right. Scrap, medallion piece, square. See, I was thinking I might cut these squares into rectangles. I haven't decided yet. I haven't decided exactly where I want to put them now. I could make square, medallion, square, medallion. Where's my other square? Square. I'm liking that. Where's my corner? Up here. Square, medallion. Move it over a little. Square, medallion, square. Which is really diamond now. Medallion, square. Sort of a medallion. And little square. Square. And I'm running out of medallions. Big medallion. Square, little square. I'm kind of liking that. I'm liking that there, that there. I'll probably have to do this and take a picture. I'm not sure I'm in love with the doily. I'm not sure I'm in love with the doily, but I know if I put it on just in weird places, when I do that frame thing with my viewfinder, I like it better. Scrap, scrap. I like this. See, this is where you get to designing it. So you could even do things like put these black strips in here. Yeah, we'll just throw some scraps on here willy-nilly. And I'm loving the upside down ones. I like it over here. Let's put it that way. This needs to be cut. That needs to be cut. It's a triangle piece. That could really go up in there. I only cut 3 of those, didn't I? I should cut more, but we'll have to see what I have left. I have this scrap lace. Could go on there. And that would make these other lace pieces make more sense. Medallions. I'm liking where it's going, to tell you the truth. I think I only need 2 red strips. I'm kind of liking that. And it looks so discombobulated right now, but when you use that viewfinder, wherever I did with that, if you think photocopy, and I don't know what I did with my viewfinder. When you use the viewfinder to measure out stuff, you're seeing it in a more fashionable. It's like cutting things down. It looks all discombobulated this way, but when you take and measure out pieces here, I kind of like what's happening. And I might find another piece of lace. I like this lace on here. Put this over here for now. And I might just add some more. I had more black strips here. Add some more black strips in here at various places. Here's my 2 butterflies I was going to put someplace. I forgot where. I'm liking this. There's a scrap pieces on here at various places. Here's another scrap that was just one of those. Inside of the tie, they would have these little holders where the smaller part of the tie, underneath the big piece of the tie, the smaller piece would go under, and this would hold it down and keep it from flopping around. I like it over here. I like it on the red, not on that red. It has to come in here. I'm looking for black. I cut all those black strips. Where are they? Here's a black triangle again. I don't want to cover that stuff up. Here's some black strips. I kind of like the black strips. They don't have to all go the same way either. So this is definitely crazy quilt type thing. Let's get this off of there. One of these could go on this lace like that. I might get another piece of lace. And I might come look at this tomorrow. I'm just going to lay this out and take a snapshot of it. And I might come look at it tomorrow and say, oh, and start moving stuff around. But what I do like that, like I say, it looks discombobulated. But I like the viewfinder thing. I like the viewfinder, which kind of unifies everything. So if I was making an ATC card, you know, and like I said, if you got my hands full, if you grab a photo and put in there, let's find a smaller photo. I'll find one of my little. I actually had 2 of these packages, which surprised me. I must have bought one and forgot I had it and then bought another one. See, something like even him in there. And the butterfly could, well, the butterfly could go on there, but I need a darker picture. I'll find another picture here. Mary's muttering to herself. Let me find another little picture. Not that I don't like him, Jan, but you've got too much white around you. Here, one like that. In there, and then the butterfly or something in here. And then some little charms or ribbon around in there, and think of that as a piece in itself. Actually, that one's too dark. Mary has to experiment. Here, she's perfect. Like that. Something like that. And do that. Make a big photocopy. Take it to the library. They have the big format printer. Last time I asked how much it cost to print, he said $2.50 for a big piece like that. That's not a bad price for a huge piece. Well, we'd have to see. But I think I'm going to leave it like this for now. I'm pretty happy with it. Where's my other picture frame thing? Let's put this on here just for the heck of it. Just to get an idea of that's if I might cut that area out and make that a piece on itself, and cut this out and make it a piece on itself. But paper, this is going to be printed. This does look like a crazy quilt, doesn't it? But I like it. It's done out of silk ties. And it's not meant to be perfect. You know what would be even nice is to get some of that little floral trim on here too. I'll have to see what I have. I'm ready to fold this up. You guys are going to thank God. Whoops. What did I do? I pulled this one. It needs to fall down there. I'm liking it. Let's put this up here for now. No, let's put it there. Leave it right where it's at. Too far down, you can't see it. Can you see it there? You can see it there. Or you can see it here too. Let's put it right there. All right. Yeah, that is a pretty cheap price for a print. Now that was when they first opened. I don't know if they're running it at the same price. But I thought it was, but they're prints. I get really nice prints at that library for 10 cents a piece. And I've always been happy with them. That's what I think I'm going to take my Super Chat animals and see if I can't print them off. I don't know what they're doing now. I haven't been there since they closed everything up for the COVID. Hi, Kathy. Do you like it, Kathy? Hi, Kathy. Have you been in here all the time listening to me chatter? It looks like a Finder size. No, I could do ATCs. I just cut this one. I didn't measure this out, Kathy. I just cut it a viewfinder just to say this is how you could, just to illustrate how the different pieces would look. Just the same way as if you were doing a masterboard and cutting out pieces. Say this was all stenciled and, mark making and all that. Which I may do after I get the paper print. I don't want to print on this. I want to leave this the way it is and then go print off maybe 3 or 4 of them. Let's say 4. Let's just pretend that they're $2.50. 4 of them would cost me what, $10? And then I could mark make and stencil and everything on the paper and just use this as a masterboard. And if I didn't like my paper ones, I could go print off another one. But see, I like how this gold, as I'm looking in my tablet, I have gold here and gold there and gold here and gold peeking out over here and a little piece of gold there.
I have red here, a little red there, a little red here, and red down in here. And then the black is just kind of, I don't want big black. I got these little black stripes here and there. And I kind of like that too, just random black. I might get out another piece of lace. I've only got one piece of lace here. I could see another piece of lace going right up in here. I wouldn't want lace over everything, but I could see another piece of lace going there. Yeah. So I'm going to call this my master board. I'm going to let this be my, I'm going to take these off, right? Should I leave them on there? Yeah, I think I'll leave them on there for my thumbnail. And even though everything's not glued down or taped down or anything, I want to take a picture of this, and then I'll pull each piece off and put it all together in another stream, because it's getting late. I start running out of steam around 12:30 my time. Thanks for peeking in, Kathy. It's a masterboard, Kathy. This is still this is my answer to the masterboard, our Time for Art Friday live stream. This is all silk ties. These are, well, some of them are silk and some of them are polyester, but they're all men's ties. And I spent my time this afternoon taking them apart and pressing them out. And Kathy, look, I don't know if you saw, but since I have your attention, look here. Look here, I'm so proud of these. I cut the ends off of the men's ties, and I got pockets. See, this is the end of the man's tie. I got pockets. I got a whole bunch of them. And this one, cool. I love this. I love this one. What happened to that tie? I put it back. I guess I didn't use it. It's gold and blue. I should have used it. But see, it's a pocket. And this is at the end of the tie. We got some larger ones. We got some larger ones that was on the front. Let me get out a large one here, so if I can find it. These are all my small ones. I'm pulling on the wrong stuff. Where are the large ones? They're in here. These are the larger ones here. Let's pull this one out. See, I'd make a nice pocket for art journaling. I'm so proud of those. I had cut 3 or 4 ties before I figured out that, oh, I got pockets. So the rest of the ties, I cut them out and I pressed them. And now that they're pressed out nice, they're kind of cool. I like them anyway. All right. Let's put these back. I'm not going to put any pockets on my masterboard, though. That's for another project, another day. Although some of these triangles might look nice on there. They're kind of big. All right, we're just going to leave this the way it is. I'm going to call it a night, a morning. I'm going to call it a morning. Yeah, I pulled Becky's pull off of the, I think I just pulled it out of the ring here. Uh-oh, Becky, I just broke it. I just undid it. I'll have to redo it. It just came off of it came outside of the ring here. I can't see to do it by myself. It's not broken, it just fell off of the ring. I can put it back together. I'm going to put it in the bag. Good thing she's in bed. Mary, you broke it. Yeah, I did. That's why I don't wear much jewelry. I'm amazed this is still on my wrist, to tell you the truth. I'm going to be taking it off here pretty soon. I wanted to wear it yet tonight. Becky made this. All right. I'm going to go to bed. Actually, what I think, where's that little one? Let's put that little one here.
and put this butterfly on it and put it like that. Let's take this one and put it there. Oh, what did I have in there? I didn't have anything in there, did I? Here, let's take this. And I guess we only want that one on there. That's too much because I want these to show. All right. So I'm just going to take a picture of it like this. And then tomorrow, or whenever I work, I'll have to work maybe even Sunday night. I'll take all these pieces off the top and I'll start putting these base pieces down. Because I think that's my next. And I think I'll have to put some interfacing on the back of these red strips because they're going to go on top. All of these will have to have interfacing. Maybe I'll do that before Sunday night and find another piece of lace. All right. We won't tell her. She's probably awake. The cat woke her up and she's listening. No, it just, it came outside of the little ring. I think the ring, I pulled it, and I think when I pulled on, I should not pulled on the beaded part. I should have pulled on the zipper part. But I pulled on the bead part, and I pulled that ring open. And I pulled it out. It's good. It's still good. It just needs to be squeezed back together. You know what this reminds me of? After I get this printed, look, and I was going to ask you guys in the stream what I could do with this. Let me show it before I go. Because I've been out here and I'm going, well, am I going to ask them or am I going to put it back upstairs? I got this album at the thrift store, never used. Look at this album. Look, wouldn't some of those, after I print them off, make them this size and make them to fit in here, even with those Tim Holtz photographs, and use one of my sheets as a masterboard, maybe a couple of them, maybe all 4 of them, and do an album of just Tim Holtz found relatives, and maybe write a little story about them. Maybe because there's journaling spots in here, I could write a little story. Or maybe we could write a little story in our live stream about each photograph. And maybe we'll make that a project because I think this album goes good with all of this background. See that maroon in there? Goes with these maroons and the reds. And I've had this for a couple years. I knew what to do with it. Cost me, what? Probably $1 or something, maybe $2. Let's see how much. It cost me $2, $1.99. Got it at Goodwill. That's what we're going to do with this. So now I have a purpose. When you have a purpose, all you need is the plan to finish it. So now I know where I'm going with it. Yeah. And I was going to ask you guys, Rhonda, what to do with that album because I've had it and I'm going, I really don't want to put my own family photos in it. I could, but I was going to art it up is what I was going to do, but I wasn't sure how I was going to art it up. Now I know. Yeah. Okay, don't tell Becky. Okay, I'm going to let you guys go. But as I look at this, a little of this is incongruent to me. I might put like a butterfly there or something just to break it up just a little. That butterfly belongs there. Have a great weekend. I have to take my camera in either tomorrow or today or tomorrow. Today's Saturday or tomorrow Sunday and get it all. I'm surprised that my phone is still going up here. Bye, everybody. All you sleepyheads out there, and Rhonda and Kathy. Bye. Thanks for joining the hop tonight. I had such a good time. Fib's old time relatives. Yes. Yes. And you guys are going to help me write the story. Like who this little girl was in Fibsville. Ooh. had a string on her head. I couldn't figure out what that was. All right. Bye. Have a great weekend.